Yesterday, how did you do?
I got second place. I lost by 4 feet.
And today?
I was 700 pounds light because I didn't really know the weight of the tractor, and that was the first time I ever pulled her. And today, well, let's talk about today. I put her in a 16,000 pound class. I put her in third gear. They were all 280, 290. One was 310, maybe 312.
And you were?
I put her in at 370 feet right in the sand pile. And the only mistake I made, I didn't put her right in the registration booth with the girl.
Try and take it from me, must be out your mind. Funky in the air, that's a lot of time. Pockets running over with the dollar sign. Try and take it from me, take it from me.
Let's make some noise, good running. John Deere, Animal Deep Iowa coming up. We got one right behind you.
Hi, Mike.
Hey, what's going on? You were muted.
Well, we got off to a better start tonight than we did last Monday night.
Yeah.
So. Hello, friends. Welcome to Let's Grow Pulling. My name is Jason Schultz and Kenzie Teeding, joining you from Boaz, Wisconsin, the home of the Beer Money Pulling Team. It's a big town of about 17 people, just west. West of Richland Center.
Yes.
And Mike Idle from Missouri. And Mike, we have an awesome guest on tonight. The secret is that we have his cool tractor above there. So take it away, my man.
Yeah, absolutely. So welcome to the show, everyone. Looking forward to this one. We're going to be talking National Farm Machinery Show. We're going to be talking Saturday afternoon light super stocks. Here with us tonight, we have blank time Grand National Champion, Adam Spiegelberg. Adam, if I was worth my salt at doing this, I would have looked up today and had the precise number of national championships to your credit. Start us off right there. That's a great way to start the interview. How many championships do you have at the Grand National level with this tractor?
So far, 2, and hopefully more in the future.
Absolutely. Were those consecutive one for you?
No, the first one was in 2019, and the second one was in 2022. And I believe 2021, I think we lost on a tiebreaker to Jason Hoopman.
Sure, absolutely. So we got, regardless, the tractor is recognizable. You're one of the premier pullers in the NTPA in the light super stock division. The Detonator Black tractor headed back to Louisville. Okay, so we've got 2 national championships. How many trips to Freedom Hall do you have to your credit so far in your resume?
I believe our first year pulling at the farm show was in 2019, and 2019 didn't go as well. We had issues with the turbo bearing and didn't get off the starting line, but every year after that, we've been pretty consistent, staying in the top 3.
Have you pulled at the farm show every single year since you got in 2019?
Yes.
Okay, so you're on a consecutive streak right there. So you're feeling pretty good about things. Obviously, 2021, I don't think we went back. That was the year we all kind of had to take a break from it in a hiatus. We got 19, 20, 22, 23, 24, and now 25. So one thing I'm always curious about pullers, especially those of you guys who are well established at pulling at the farm show, you've gone a good handful of years in a row now. Is it just as exciting, just as important, just a big a deal when that letter comes every single year, or do you ever start getting used to it? How excited are you to be going in 2025 yet again?
Oh, I'm excited. I mean, the winters are kind of boring, especially if we don't have snow at home. Winters are long, they're cold. And once February rolls around, I mean, you just get excited to get the tractor back out and get back on the track. And it's always nice just to get back into pulling, and then it kind of gets you pumped up for the summer then too.
How much is your approach at Louisville? How does it change, if at all, compared to anything you do outdoor? I mean, do we change certain setup on the tractor? Do we change driving style? What's it like pulling indoors compared to, a typical outdoor pull?
So the track is just so short. So you can't you can't mess around too much on the start line because that weight of that sled gets on you so fast. So it's pretty much, it's the sled's going to be heavy, and the track is always pretty good. So it's always a good hard biting power track. So we always normally have to have the drawbar low, and it's kind of what we normally run in the summer. The only thing that's really different is the weight is a little bit heavier at Louisville, but you pretty much still do the same thing with the drawbar.
So your whole shot's going to be even more critical than it typically would be because you just don't have the amount of time to make up your mind as to how quickly you're going to get into it or how hard you're going to get into it.
Yep.
When you're approaching that whole shot, would you say that, like, what's your driving style typically like? Are you someone who's just left foot up, right hand down, or do you kind of like to feather into it, on your general approach? And then does that change when you're at the farm show?
Yeah, I always like to try to come out nice and smooth and kind of feel the track out and kind of just feel the tractor and the throttle the same. But when you're at the starting line, especially in the light super class, because we follow the light pros, and the light pros actually really chew up the starting line pretty good.
Sure.
So in our class, it's always very tricky just to be able to get the good hole shot. But I mean, there's a lot of times you can take off and you're just really just buzzing the tires, not really getting any traction, but yet you can't hold back too long in the throttle because that weight of that sled's going to come on you pretty fast. So it's definitely a lot of patience on the starting line, and I feel like that starting line could really make or break you at the Louisville Farm Show.
Definitely, because you've got to get that sled moving because that wagon is heavy, and when that box tops there, Freedom Hall, it hits you harder than anything's going to hit you. But if you get into it too soon, you're just going to fry the tires and kind of unload everything. Do you feel that, having pulled there so many years in a row now, do you kind of gain a little bit of experience and you kind of have found the sweet spot, so to say, after pulling there a handful of times?
Yeah, I mean, I take notes every year, and I feel like our notes are pretty much almost the same every year, but it kind of all depends on that starting line, because I know at the end of the track, it's roughly pretty much the same year to year. And we haven't really made any changes to the tractor, so all of our information from years past, we're able to kind of use it, and it's kind of keeps our tractor pretty consistent, so we kind of know what's going to happen, what to do at the farm show.
For sure. So hitting some of the comments here, Matthew Carter's chiming in, shouting out to Beer Money Pulling Team, and Jason Schultz says he loves your light super stock tractor, and he says he saw it for the first time in Benson, North Carolina a couple of seasons ago. Now, speaking of Benson, it's kind of the highlight of your season this year. You picked up a victory early on out there in North Carolina. Dirt's got to be quite a bit different pulling out there compared to maybe pulling in some of that Louisville clay. Walk us through how your 2025 season got going and just kind of how things went, and especially tell us about that win you picked up out there in Benson.
Yeah, so last year, actually every year it seems like Benson falls on my birthday weekend, and I end up getting the win the first night at Benson, and the second night I got a little too proud on the drawbar and end up slapping the wheelie bars a little bit. But the year before that, we end up doubling up and sweeping the weekend at Benson. So for some reason, it just seems like our tractor likes that dirt or what, I don't know. Just we seem to have pretty good luck there.
What would you say that it's actually one of the tracks that's, you prefer, one of your sweet spots, or do you have a collection of tracks that you enjoy pulling at most?
I mean, it's a bit of a drive to get out there, but I mean, that facility is unreal. It is nice. And we have our data logger for our tractor. I remember the runs I made this last summer was my fastest run I made down the track for the whole year. I think we hit like 37 miles an hour or something like that. And it was a fun ride. Earl, go ahead.
Go ahead. No, you go ahead, Adam.
I was going to say the John Strickland and everyone that helps put on that event, and Earl Wells. I mean, that's an awesome event. A bit of a haul, but I mean, once we're there, I mean, it's a pretty sweet event.
Is there something about the way they build the track out there, or, the soil composition that just suits your guys' setup? Or is it just one of those where you've had success there and now you just kind of, your mojo's working when you show up out there?
Yeah, I think we just found out something that worked, and we're able to get some good information and data from that. So we're able to kind of refer back to that, and it kind of seems to work pretty good.
Perfect. So you mentioned it's quite a haul out there. So let's go all the way back. Before the show, we were talking about how your roots and your beginnings are really in the light limited super stock division. And, Jason and I, we were chatting beforehand, and he was like, Mike, this guy is and was the baddest dude in light limited super stock in Wisconsin, period. Tell the world, how'd you get into pulling, and was it kind of locally based for a long time, or how did you move from light limited up to light super, and where'd you go? Tell us the story of how Adam Spiegelberg got into pulling.
So I actually graduated high school in 2008, and we ended up getting into some antique tractors after I graduated. So we started off pulling these hot antique classes, and I think I first started off with a Farmall M. Went from a Farmall M, then to an Oliver 88, then led to a Massey, and gradually kind of worked our way up. So I think we started by, 5 miles an hour. That led up to 20 miles an hour in the antique class. And then we ended up getting in the light limited class. And we first started, didn't know anything about alcohol tractors, and built a light limited, kind of struggled with it at first. And Mark Horth is our tire cutter, and he's like, hey, how about you guys get hooked up with Terry Blackburn? Or maybe he kind of introduces to Terry Blackburn. Terry Blackburn ended up building us a light limited motor, and at the time it wasn't anything special, but when we first came out with it, it just ran. I mean, we didn't have all the best components in it. We just wanted to kind of get something rolling, and end up being very competitive with that. It was actually our Oliver White 2150 called the White Mare tractor. I don't know if you've ever seen it before. And kind of got known from right there. Did quite a bit of winning, and then after that tractor, we ended up building another Moline 5-star that my dad used to pull all the time. Had fun with that, and I think we ended up building like 2 more light limiteds. So we had like 4 or 5 light limiteds at one time at one point. But we enjoyed the light limited class, and we just kind of slowly wanted to work our way up to the light super class. But we felt like we wanted to take little steps to get there, and just always going to tractor pulls. I remember watching Brian Korth just back in the day just dominate the light super class. I'm like, geez, I want to get a tractor like that. So then the Detonator Red light limited edition was kind of like a replica of a light super, but in the light limited class. And had a lot of success in the light limited class, and eventually moved up to the light super class. 2017, 2018, we came out with a Detonator Black. Made about 1 or 2 seasons on the Detonator Black, and we decided that we wanted to build another one. So then we built pretty much a replica, which was a Detonator Red that my brother Jordan pulled, which now the new owner is Brian Stramix. I think they're called the Red.
Here is how hot, and here is how just folks out there, and Matthew Carter's got an awesome question, and we're going to talk about it in just a second. Here's how the bucking Broncos of the pulling world, you light super stocks are with your multi-chargers and, 6,200 pounds or whatever you guys weigh in at. The Schromick family purchases Detonator Red. This guy used to drive a 6-engine modified. It was like the last 6-engine mod there was that was out there. I was talking to him. He made a test pass in Paris, Missouri, just right after he bought it. And I was talking to him, and he said, this is going to be the only vehicle that I detune. He says, I'm going to have to take this thing backwards to get the reins on this thing. You're talking about someone who has driven diesel supers and, massive unlimited modifieds, but these light supers, they're hot. I mean, they are absolute bullets out there. So yeah, really neat that that pulling family has that, and they're going to be pulling out there in the farm show as well. So you guys kind of get to share that same honor out there. But no, Matthew Carter had a really good question. And you were walking us through, going from antiques to light limiteds to light supers. And he just wants you to talk to the world about what's the difference between it and, your 8,000 pound counterparts, those 540 guys, if you want to tell the world about that a little bit.
Are you saying about light super compared to open super?
Yeah, that's what Matthew Carter wants to know. This might have been asked already, but he says, what makes a light super stock different from the opens or the unlimited? So the super stock open or the super stock, the unlimited supers. What's the difference between them and the heavy class?
So a light super stock is typically 6,200 pounds, 6,400 pounds if you pull indoors. We're 504 cubic inch, and the open supers. What is a cubic inch? I don't know if they're up to
I think they're 540. I think they're aren't they 540? Or are they bigger
sure
than that?
Or I thought they were like 650 cubic inch, but they're 8,000 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe they can run an intercooler, if I'm right.
Well, they can. Sure. I think they can also, like you guys can't run dual overhead cams. You guys have to be push rod, right? And I think
I believe so.
That I think the heavies, and they can run V8s. A couple of them can run V8s. So you start nitpicking at it and whatnot. What's the difference between your light limited setup and your light super setup? The first one I would guess would be you had an ag rear end, I imagine. But tell us about what went different from those two classes when you built, Detonator Black.
So pretty much when we did went from the light limited to light super, you're starting everything all scratch, brand new component chassis. Now you got a whole new block. Now you're up to 504 cubic inch. Light limited class, like I said, ag rear end. I think we're 370 cubic inch at the time, 3x4 turbo. And now in the light super class, you can run 3 to 4 turbos, depending on what you choose to run. And as far as what it feels in the seat, I mean, there were still some fun rides on the light limited. It all pretty much depends on the track and sled setting. But I would say on average on the light limited class, you maybe get 28 to 32 miles an hour. And on a light super, you could probably get anywhere from 32 to maybe up to 40 miles an hour. But just a lot more wheels. The wheel speed is the big
speed
thing.
on a light super is remarkable. It's breathtaking. Jason, you can throw that comment back up there again, because I think that's a really good one for what we're discussing right now. The literal pulling videos says that he's watched the Blue Blazes light super stock, hard running light super, make several passes. Sometimes it really runs, and other times it hardly lights. And I almost hate to even ask you this question, but he wants to know, do you ever have any issues like that? Talk to the world about running an alcohol super stock. I think would be basically how you would answer that question.
Yeah, so the alcohol tractors they can definitely be finicky. Luckily, Terry Blackburn and Blackburn Race Components have their hands in our tractor, and they are one of the best. And yeah, so I mean, fortunately, we haven't had really any issues, but a lot of it is on tune-up, depending on how much fuel you have going into them. I mean, if you run them too lean, you're just gonna burn it up and eat up a lot of parts. But I would have to say that as much as I like the light super stock class, I wouldn't say that we put on the best show at Louisville, because every time at Louisville, the weather conditions are always cold. And if you don't have enough fuel in them, the tractors are just so finicky. They just won't run, or spit and sputter, or they just lean out. And normally we pull on like a Saturday, and Saturday for some reason always ends up being cold. So as they're bringing tractors in and out of the building, they're always opening and closing that door. So if you don't have enough fuel in the tractor, I mean, you can just lean it out. And as they're opening that door, bringing tractors in and out, I mean, you see a lot of people actually just don't run or lean out and just wreck their tractor. And they're temperamental in the cold weather.
Not only,
fortunately, we always have enough. We always have our tune-up always more conservative, so I'd rather run all the time. And yeah, it might not always make the most power, and we could probably push it a little harder, but I'd rather still be able to make a pass and know it's going to run. So.
Well, and that's a good approach too, because consistency is what wins you points championships. It's Michael, not always what.
Can I play a couple of Adam's videos from Farm Show?
Yeah, let's see them.
Okay. Mike, what? I think that ran good. I think you had enough fuel, guys. After that was pretty sweet.
What's the wildest ride you've ever taken on one of your light supers? Not only can they be finicky on their fuel setup, but these things can send some people on some rides. Have you ever had a good old fashioned light super bounce around before?
Oh yeah. Well, before we started pulling Grand National, we used to pull state level, and going from Grand National to state level, you have to run, I don't know if it's like 150 to 200 pounds less weight. And I took a pretty rough ride one time in Ellsworth, and I had probably maybe 1 or 2 tires on the ground at one point. And I remember the rear tire almost went higher than the buckboard on the sled. I remember crashing the front end down, bending one of the front rims. I think we ended up nicking up the turbo blades. I think I hit my head pretty good on the roll cage. Yeah, you learn to really figure out that drawbar. But we were new to the class, so we didn't really know how important that drawbar is to having control of the tractor.
I watched an interview from a long time ago, and you've referenced Brian Korth several times in this interview, and he spoke, I remember this interview quite a while ago, and he spent the majority of the interview talking about the importance of the drawbar. Tell the fans about that. You are allowed to adjust it to a certain degree, and you did a really nice job explaining the fuel to air ratio. Tell the world about what you can do with the drawbar and what makes a difference and what your preference is.
So maximum drawbar height is 20 inches, but I don't think in the Grand National class that you get guys that are able to actually run at that 20-inch height. The tracks are usually really good. Maybe sometimes if you get on a poor track, you can maybe bump it up to close to 20, but most of the time you're pretty much down almost an inch or more, or in between. But yeah, it's just unreal, because going from the light limited class to the light super class, light limited class, I mean, we were moving weights on the back. Now you jump into the light super class and all the weights on the front, and you could be down an inch on the drawbar. But what that drawbar does, that drawbar is actually what helps control the tractor, because you can have the best driver, the best engine, everything out there, but if you can't drive it and control it, I mean, you're not going to make it down the track. So that drawbar is pretty much makes or breaks you. And
you talked about how, nobody puts weight on the back in your class anymore, but 20, 30, 40 years ago, this was pretty common. You'd see, pullers moving weights and throw some on the back for a power, or for, a looser track, and on the front for a power track. The drawbar, that's if you ever were on a position where you'd have had that old school mentality, of, oh, well, throw one on the back. You don't throw one on the back. You raise that drawbar just by a little bit, and it creates that fulcrum point and draws you guys down. But like you said, with these tracks they're building these days, you're putting everything out front, and you're keeping that drawbar at a position where you can make a good, solid, consistent pass. So perfectly explained. That's fun to think about.
Yeah. Nowadays, I mean, the tires, they grip so good, and the turbos nowadays are just getting better and better. So you're just putting more horsepower to the ground, and so you're adding more horsepower. It's not like we're adding more weight to the tractor. So now you got to get all that horsepower to the ground. So even though you have it, you still got to be able to control it. So you just pretty much got to make up for it in the drawbar.
Would you ever, I'm going to go left field with this one. So light super stock, alcohol puller, we've got a smoke blower sitting over here in the bottom left-hand corner. Would you ever find yourself sitting behind a diesel pulling tractor? Would you ever put a diesel in the light supers, or cross over to the dark side and pull the super stock diesels? Or, are you and Jason going to do a handshake bets and trade tractors one of these days, one time down the track?
I would drive one. I wouldn't say I would want to own one. It just
Bad boy Spiegelberg.
Yeah, I'll stick to the alcohol tractors, but I mean, it's impressive. I like all the smoke, but seeing the guys have to work on them all the time, and diesel and everything's black, I'm like, yeah, no, thank you. I'll stick with the alcohol. But if someone wants to maybe offer me a ride or do a little switcheroo, I mean, I'd be open to that, but not owning one.
Jason, would you ever drive a light super stock on alcohol?
I'm scared. They're like them and the you guys, Adam, you and the mini rod guys, I feel like have the biggest balls of them all. There's AC.
Oh, yeah.
Just
yeah. If if we weren't in the light super stock class, a mini rod would be my choice. Those things look fun.
I think we need to see a little detonator. I think that would be I think the world would love to watch that coming out. You know, that would be a good fit as far as I'm concerned.
And it was talked about a couple of years ago. I was trying to get my brother to get back into pulling, and we thought about if we can get another mini rod and have 2 different tractors in 2 different classes. We thought that would be a lot of fun, but I couldn't convince him to make that commitment. So we'll just stick with the light super.
That would have been neat. That would have been neat. I think the world would have really enjoyed watching your team go into that class. But hey, you got decades of pulling left ahead of you. You never know what could happen. So
yeah,
just have to keep our fingers crossed. Hey, congratulations on heading back to the farm show yet again. Who do you need to thank or acknowledge, or sponsors or teammates, family, for being in this great position in 2025?
I got to thank my dad for one. I mean, if it wasn't for him, I mean, we wouldn't be able to compete in this sport. And having all the support from Terry Blackburn, Josh Blackburn, the whole Blackburn Racing components. Mark Korth, he does a great job cutting our tires. We have guys at our shop that kind of helps us with some maintenance on the tractor when we're busy. And yeah, without all those guys, if you don't have the right support around you, I mean, you can only be so competitive. So
right, absolutely. Well, like we said, thank you so much for coming on, telling us about your class, telling us about your tractor. Best of luck at the National Farm Machinery Show. You guys will be pulling Saturday afternoon, correct?
Yep.
All right.
Yeah,
Folks,
it'll be nice if they can maybe get some more qualifying back in, like what we kind of did years ago, but it's not too bad.
I'm glad you talked about that. That was going to be a question, but I was running short on time. But we'll talk about it really quickly. Would you like to see that class grown and expanded again at the farm show?
Oh yeah, I mean, at one point it seemed like our class was kind of slowly just being stagnant. It just wasn't really growing. But now, like this year, I mean, our class is just really growing. I mean, some of our events we're getting 18 and 20 tractors, and they all run now. I mean, yeah. I think this is the best our class has ever looked. And Blackburns are getting their hands in a lot of people's tractors now. I mean, if you actually look at our list for this year, 10 out of the 12 tractors are all got a Blackburn power plant on them. So, I mean, this is the toughest light super class that we've probably had in years. It's only getting better and better. So I think we could put on a good show now, even better than years before. I think it's just going to continue to get better.
So to follow up on what you're saying, you've got 12 of the best, if not the best, that are there. But you're strong feeler that there's another dozen out there that would put on just as that. There's easily 24 top tier level light supers. And I think you're right. If you stop and think about it and look back on the summer and look back at the pulls and kind of rewatch them in your mind, it's tough to almost narrow it down just to 12. Yeah, that's a class I think that could definitely hold water expanding at the farm show again. But,
Adam, encourage everybody to sign up every year. That's kind of what I've always been told, is like once they see the numbers, and it won't happen the first year, but like if they see a couple years in a row where there's 40 or so applying, then they get excited again about that. So I think that's something everybody needs to do. I think like when I had my limited pro, it was like I knew if we didn't win points, you weren't in, Adam. You know what I mean? And then enough 4-1 started applying, and then they put the second session in, for the 4-1s. So, but I do think there is a diesel element to the farm show. I mean, because of the farming, and you see a lot of I love 4-wheel drive trucks and 2-wheel drive trucks, but man, that's when you sure see the hauls. Everybody heads to get beer, at the farm show. That's one I really feel like that's a tractor crowd, or I should say diesel. I definitely think it's a tractor crowd. Yeah, more than anything else. So
I always wondered, so why don't they consider bringing in the mini rods? Because I know they had it at the truck show. I think the mini rods would be able to put on a good show.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd heard insurance, but then I saw that Mac Trailer had them. So that'd be a good question for our buddy Mike Witt, Adam. So ask him that. So see what happens.
Yeah, I think they would put on a really good show.
Well, cool. Well, Adam, we're going to jump into the Pullers Championship. We're heading into the final round of fan voting tonight. Thank you again, and thank you for supporting our Pullers Championship too. So we appreciate that. So
no problem. Enjoyed being on the show.
Awesome. See you in Louisville, buddy.
Yep. Take care.
All right.
Good luck.
Adam Spiegelberg. That Mike, awesome interview.
That was a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun when our guests come on the show, and not only can we talk pulling, but they'll respond to some of those burning questions that the fans have and explain it from the mechanical side and the growth side. But he's one of those people. If you've been around pulling for the past 10 or so years, that's a household name. That's a guy that he's out there kicking butt and taking names, and we wish him the best of luck at the farm show this year.
So absolutely. Well, hey, let's bring on the Brent Yaron. And I gotta call him Yaron because when I say, hey Siri, call Brent Yaron, it doesn't work. But I gotta say Brent Yaron. So
Ron.
I'm bringing Brent Yaron.
Or Yan.
Brent Yan.
Yeah.
Brent Yan. Hey, buddy.
You guys don't even know how to say my last name.
What's that?
Yaron.
How are you, buddy?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Good.
Excellent, man.
Well, let's talk about the first round of fan voting a little bit. I'll have Kenzie put each class up there, Brent. We can read through them.
Okay.
And then, but talk about the numbers. I know, take over. You take over. I'll shut up.
Yeah, I mean, so first round of fan voting went really well. This year, actually, I didn't go through and count them, but I would assume probably the most number of pollers that voted for themselves this year. Definitely made making the top 20 list easier. So for those that don't know, it was 13 days essentially of fan voting, and we went through and took the top 20, and we checked to see if they were voting for themselves. That they were. We assumed that they would accept the invite, and then we reached out to the rest of them on that top 20 list and to see if they would accept the invite if they were to get voted in. If they said for one reason or the other that they wouldn't be able to, we then moved on down the list. So 21, 22, 23 until we had the top 20. So the list that you have seen posted on our page, that is the top 20 that said they would accept an invite or do their darnest to be there. So like I said, probably the easiest year putting these lists together. So thank you to the pullers that are starting to support this event. And the voting for round one beat out last year as well. So it's nice to see numbers growing still for this event. And actually just told Jason today and the rest of the group that I was just kind of looking at the insights on the Facebook page. And since round one of fan voting, the page has grown over 8,000 new followers. Thank you to everybody that has followed the page, and hope, you are interested in the event, whether you show up in person or purchase a live stream. Every dollar that we make from this event goes back to the pullers and pays the purse. So the more eyeballs that we're getting on the page, hopefully that's, in turn is going to lead to more people actually watching the event. So other than that, round two, it just started, opened up 5 minutes ago. It'll go until February 9th at 11:59 p.m. Central Time. So it is the Sunday after Farm Show is when it'll close, or before Farm Show. And then the Monday after Farm Show, is when we will reveal who got voted in and filled the rest of the spots in each one of the classes. So if you go on the website and go to do the fan voting, when you go to each class, it does specify how many you can vote for in each class. So just like two-wheel drives, you can vote up to 4. In pro stocks, you can vote up to 8. So just pay attention to that. You do not have to vote for all 8. You can vote for 1, or you don't have to vote for any. If you just want to vote for, your favorite, a family member or something like that in one of the classes, you can, and you can be strategic about it. If you're, a 4-1 competitor, maybe you don't want to vote for anybody else in your class because you don't want anybody else getting votes. So definitely different ways to do it. And you can vote once per day. If you have multiple people in the household, obviously, as long as they just have multiple email addresses, you're fine. Just don't start abusing it.
I never thought about a point you just made, using your vote strategically as a competitor. Like, if there's a guy who kicks my butt every single time, maybe I build a field that I feel, a certain way about. So I don't know how much one vote at a time would make a difference, but it's fun to think about. That's an interesting concept that that pullers can, influence the strategy of what happens out here as well.
Well, I never thought of it that way, Mike, to be honest with you, but I've always thought of it as I'm going to vote for myself and the ones I want to see get in, because if you're voting for the other people too, other people might as well. So if that makes sense, you're trying to keep the numbers down, to Brent's point on that. So John Bohr says they're pushing 5 West Coast pullers. So I have the pro stocks up. Now, one thing I do I read through the comments on the Pullers Championship social media, and why aren't Mastersons in there?
Yep.
Listen, they were in there. Trust me. They got fan voted in. We called
I will
them.
tell you, in the pro stock class, we get a lot of no's because majority of them are farmers.
Yep.
It's the only
and
way.
We know that, and we hear that every year, and we respect your opinion.
Yep.
But our stance has been, and unless something crazy happens, we want this event to be the biggest test and tune in the world. We don't want to interfere with any pulling organization at all. We know if we did this in the middle of the year, people aren't going to come because they don't want to hurt it because they're in a points race. We know they do it at the end of the year. They're harvesting, or my motor's too tired. We've stuck with this. We know this. I mean, it would be great to put this the third weekend in June or whatever.
Yep.
But then now, look what and I love what RJ's doing, but look, that sent haywire everybody. It fell on top of Hutchinson. It fell on top of Mackville. Now Mackville's not happening because of insurance. You know what I mean? This is our date. Our date's always going to be the weekend before any of the national series start.
Yep. The weekend before Memorial Weekend is the date, or the weekend that we're planning to have it every year. Again, unless something changes. And on the flip side of that too, Jason, is we're always going to fall into farming. We're always going to fall into, we just broke on the dyno. We can't get parts. So no matter where you put it, there's always going to be things you run into. We just feel this is the best. So. Yep.
And I love what RJ's doing in Farley. June, what is it? 11th, 12th, and 13th?
12th through the 14th.
And that'll be fun. But this is our version of and this is our 4th year, and we're excited. So, but we'd love to have the Mastersons. We'd love to have. I'm trying to think,
that's something that we've always discussed. Hopefully, we get to the point where we have a big enough payout where they're just like, we can park it, or we can find somebody to run it.
Yeah,
while we're gone.
Yeah, for $25,000 to win, maybe Kevin will park the planter for a day and come play with us. We'll see. But we're not there yet. So, but we are proud. We paid over $200,000 back last year. And again, if this is your first time ever hearing of the Pullers Championship, every dollar from the gate, the admission gate, every dollar from the live stream, plus the $500 entry fee from the Pullers goes back into the purse, and we just pay it out. And last year, I think last place over the weekend got $1,000 plus their $500 back, roughly. I don't know the exact numbers, but I think that's pretty accurate. So I just we're proud of what we're doing. We do this for the Pullers because the Pullers have been providing entertainment for all of us all these years, and this is our way to give back. We have turned the Puller into a promoter. Look at how many Pullers share this around. The fan engagement. You vote for people that you get to see.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then we'll add them when we get to the 4-1s. I'll ask Brent on that, how many we get. So we got 20 minutes left, and I talk too much as it is, but I did let Brent talk for 10 minutes. I'm quite proud. I'm going to read through. Again, Mike, great job with Adam Spiegelberg. Good interview. He supported our event since the first year as well, him and his dad. And rumor is they're buying a mini rod. I don't know. I think that'd be pretty cool to get maybe.
They've been talking about that since Timmermans were selling a mini rod.
And if it's not an actual rumor, it's a rumor worth starting. You know what I'm saying?
So we have the pro stock list up. Again, these are 20 competitors that were voted in. So Brent and I and Kenzie and the rest of us, we called everybody. We texted everybody a Facebook message. You made the top 20. If you get through the final round, will you accept our invitation? And that's why we take a week to really determine this, because these are 20 pro stocks that want to be there. They have told Paul Romack or Brent or Kenzie or me or Carrie or Shorefighty or Holzhauer that they want to be here. So barely getting by, Jack Wishmeyer. Beyond Limits, Brandon and Dustin Hart. That's going to be cool to see the Hart boys back out.
Yeah,
I think they're probably sick of Weimer this, Weimer that. They want to prove that they can make a pro stock run.
Yeah, and we did. So their other tractor was, we did get down to the new one, but they don't think it'll be done in time. But they were hoping it. They don't know because they do want to make a test pass before Farley on it. But yeah. So it is cool seeing them back. They haven't pulled since 2019.
Yeah, if you guys have any comments on any of these, just shut me up and I'll let you talk. Buck Eater 2, Mickey Shorter. El Nino, Rhett Parrish. Hardcore Addiction, Andrew and Brad Hartman. King of Deers, Corey Hoffman. Loud and Heavy X, Brandon Simon. Loud and Heavy Brandon. Loud and Heavy X, Brandon Simon. Loud and Loaded, RJ. Money on Black, Peter Norton. More Agitation, Tara Moore Brittner. Never Given Up, Craig Lodwig. New Generation Plus, the Lemke's. Nutcase, Chris Hoyt. That tractor, that was so cool to see that case out here a couple years ago. I think we had him the last couple years.
He's been there every year. He's
Okay.
been one of our supporters.
One More Deer, Davey Moore. Revelation Pro, John Link. The 88 series. T8 Tomcat, Greg Elsing. Trailblazer, Travis Coons. Whiskey Wild, Corey Bob. Youngblood, Braden Schrammick. So how many pros? We have 8 spots open for pros, right?
Eight spots for pro stocks. And
the site will let you vote for 8.
Yep.
Okay, fans? It'll tell you. And I know Adam Stevens is asking about how many spots are open for 4 ones. We'll get there next.
And just another note. So Simons do have 3 pro stocks. That's not a typo. They do have their new one will be done for this next year. So, or this upcoming season.
Breaking news.
Mm-hmm.
Simons have another.
I noticed on the website, it said new tractor and I scratched my head, but I with the Loud and Heavy and the Loud and Loaded and the Loud and X, you get lost in the names. But yeah, I'd kind of forgotten, like, no, that the Loud and Loaded went away and now it's coming back. So
I saw Jason Round Friday night at the Dubuque Fighting Saints hockey game. His tractors will be named at Louisville this year. So you heard it here first.
Ooh.
And I can't tell you because he wants it to be a big secret, but I just want to. It is going to happen. It is going to.
Finally, now I don't have to look at the numbers on the tractors to figure out if it's this.
No, and I kind of like that.
8360 or 8370.
Everybody was like, "Oh, I like the clean look." I liked it when like was just a couple, but now there's too many of them.
I thank you, Jason Schultz, for saying that. Pro stock tractor drivers, put a wrap on your tractor, like, because from a distance, man, oh man, like they look identical.
But then you have people like Kenzie and Chandler who say, "Nope, I can tell by the front rim." I mean, so I respect that as well too, because you guys are good. Super stock diesel trucks. Here's your 20. You can vote for. Yarn, how many are we taking, buddy?
In this class, we are taking 4.
You get a vote for 4. That means 6 pullers accepted their initial invite based upon their how they performed in 2024. Again, that's the first. That's how we determine the first invites. Brent and Paul and the guys kind of figure out how you did on national associations. If it's a class where you have the Outlaws and the PPL and the NTPA and some other major state associations, there's not as many fan vote possibility. But you get a vote for 4. So American Pride, Keith Witt, Bad Intentions, Trevor Kneifenegger, Binder Edition, Nick Headley. He ran really good at diesel in our corners.
He won Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Caretaker, Chase Eller, Coal Mine Express, Todd Custer. And we're seeing new names on here this year, Brent, and that gets me excited.
Mm-hmm.
That people are like, holy cow, they've heard about it. Or like Brent said, it's been easier this year. People have heard of our event.
Mm-hmm.
Concrete Cummins, Andrew Ledford, Cumminized Out.
Cummins out.
Cummins.
Mike,
So that,
Mike, just take over.
So I can go through this. So Cummins out. That is actually Dave Whalen's truck. It is now down in Louisiana. It will be renamed. I didn't get a name from him yet, but he did say that he would come. Also put in just a note on Bad Intentions. That is a truck out in, I believe, Utah, Idaho. United Pullers and the United Truck and Tractor Pullers, as well as Thane Motorsports. But moving on from where Schultz left off, we got Deadpool, Terry Biggs, Evil Diesel, Randy Overton from Canada, Flammable, that's Marshall DeBrew, Gone Broke, Caleb Hales, he's also one of those Utah trucks, I believe he's Utah, King Kong, Cody Lee, that used to be the Triple Alpha Process, Maverick, Casey Morris, On Borrowed Time, Aiden Hodges, Running in the Red, Calvin Miller, Shy Diesel, Brady Ingram, Shark Bait, Jesse Warren, Something to Prove, Jaden Littman, The Rumor, JJ Brumby, and Trencher, Jeremy Yeager. Jeremy's second truck is the old Grin and Barrett. Jeremy sent me a picture of it. It is indeed the old Grin and Barrett. He's almost done with it, so he's hoping to get it in and make some test passes. Mm-hmm. Super Farm Tractors, and again, that class top 4 will make it into the event.
That's gonna, Brent, you ever just look at these lists and say to yourself, just this list of 20 in an isolated context would be a hell of a show.
I saw it on about every single one of the posts. It's like, can we just invite all 20?
And then like to say, oh, we're gonna pick 4.
Yeah.
To me, that in and of itself shows you the level that this pool is capable of. You couldn't pay me to pick 4 out of that class.
Yeah.
Like I just want to watch that one, and that's not even counting the 8 whatever that are already in. I mean, that's a stacked lineup, man.
Absolutely. Let's see, Super Farm tractors. Off the top of my head, I think we're taking 6, if I remember correctly.
I've got your website pulled up. I'll look really quickly. Yeah, 6 for the Super Farms.
Okay. Yep. So we have Brooke Ferris and the Absolutely Nuts, Jason Binney and All Cranked Up, Steve Broadley, the Al Chalmers D21, Brooke Ferris and the Assorted Nuts, Dan Schulte, Binder Express, Robert Cordes and the Blue Collar Dollar, Shane Hunt and Chasing a Dream, Dan Binney, Crank It Up, Greg and Russ Freeze with Deer Tracks, Josh Miley, High Maintenance, Dustin and Larry Oswald in the Keystone Case, Mac Darnell, Maximum Overdrive, Eddie Rowe and the Redwiser, Shane McFarlane and the Ruttenbuck, Nick Scar, and the rest of the Screaming Norwegian team, Brad Foster and the Moonshiner, Shane Maston, Thumpin' Pumpkin, Brad McFarlane, Untamed, Bill Casey, the Whoopie Maker, and then Jeremy Roberts, Wicked Whitetail. So again, top 6. Top 6. Yeah,
top
in
6
that class.
out of that class.
All right, so light super stock tractors. We have Ryan Frykes in the Addiction. It used to be one of my favorite tractors growing up. That used to be the Blue Can Fever. Cole Forrester and Airborne. Kyle Carlin and the newly redone Bad Blood. Clay Haney and Cujo Unleashed. Adam Spiegelberg, Detonator Black. Esden Lane and the Diggin' Fever. Evening Thunder of Kevin Essery. Larry Phillips's Extremely Insane. Bobby Jones, Field Sobriety. Brent Payne, Galot. David Meintz in the Whole Shot. Brandon Phillips, Insanity. The JD Tractor of Cody Haney. Brandon Phillips, John Deere 7310R. Justin Hoffman, the last one standing. Ryan Henley and Kenneth Hale in the Light Trouble. Bernie Plotz, Little Bad Alice. Elmer Hogg in the Little Temptation. Martin Daniels on the Edge. And then Brian Schrammick in Red.
Did Brandon Phillips, so I was rewatching some of the Grand National season this winter, and I noticed that he just called that 7310R, and this doesn't matter for anything, but I felt like he kept the name Loud and Light on that for a while. Am I mistaken there?
Yeah,
Didn't
he ran it
and then did he take the name away?
Yeah, as far as I know.
Okay.
So I'm sure they have a plan for naming it, but time will tell. I don't know. Light super stocks, we are taking, is it 7? I think it's 7. If I remember off the top of my head.
That's your job, Britt.
Yep.
I tried to do my best.
Tractors, top 7 advance according to your awesome website.
Perfect. 2-wheel drive trucks. So this top 20 was the legitimate top 20. I had to reach out to one poller. The rest of them voted for themselves.
Awesome.
So made it pretty simple.
Here's the best comment of the night. I like this one.
That's awesome. All right, so 2-wheel drive trucks. Out of 260 some in the country, we are down to the top 20 and only 4 getting in. So start out Michael White in the Addiction, Will Teasley in Apex, Wesley Foster, Barbed Wire, Donnie Sullivan, Big Stick, Stephen Poore and the Boogie Woogie, Ethan Foster and Crosswired, Seaver Perry and Dirty Deeds, Jacob Wiley and Easy Money, Eddie Wiley and Final Notice. That was the Out of the Blue truck from the Corsa family, and prior to that used to be Spike from Mattingly's. The Timmerman family, Hot and Nasty, Andrew Sprock and the Maximum Ride, Jeremy Nelson and the Midnight Gambler, David Poore and the One Last Shot, which I believe was the Thor truck. When I grabbed a picture of it,
it sure looks like it, Brent.
Yeah, I saw it, and I'm just, because I was wondering where it went when I was putting my list together, and I believe that is the old Thor truck. Tim Beatty and the Sawmill Express, David Hunt and Shameless, Paul Sprock and Sprock Farms, Tommy Reedy and the Felon. He is one that is out from Idaho, I believe, as well. That runs.
We saw him run at the Golden State Invitational.
Yep. I know he bounces into California as well. So moving on, we have Dale Norman and Untouchable, Leanne Tremolian May and the Thriller, and then Mark Ford and Tremor. A lot of Southern trucks. They definitely showed out in the voting.
I read a comment. Somebody said Mid-South showed up well this year. Did they?
Oh yeah, I would say between them and TNT, they're 75% of the list.
Okay.
All right, modify. Oh, perfect. That's what I thought. Thanks, Ted.
Thanks, Ted.
Modify mini tractors. We are taking now 7. Unfortunately, Ken Venny is not going to be able to make it, so we are going to move that spot to a fan vote spot. So
And listen, fans, he wants to be there, but he basically said there's just some stuff going on and doesn't want to take the spot. If he's not 100% sure. So I said that's okay. Just we'll wait. And he says no. So anyway.
Modify minis. We have Logan Pyzik and Aftermath. AJ spelled it wrong. Sorry, I got called out for that one. I think it's Fritas is how I typed it too fast. It's Freitas. The bankroller. It's still owned by Fagundes, Robbie Fagundes, Adam Kester and the Beast of Burden, Abby Leichner and Bobcat Jr., Butch Poland and the Bull Hauler. I did not realize he's actually got 2 tractors now.
Okay.
So based on the pictures, it looks like it was Chris Shoemaker's tractor, but I'm not going to confirm that. But it looks like it was his tractor. So I put the newer one on there. If he wants to bring the other one, if he gets voted in, I don't know. They're both called Bull Hauler. So
yeah.
Abby Leichner and Dirt Slinger. That is a new mini rod. That is Matt Johnson's mini rod. Tim Pyzik and Fallout. Adam Kester and Footloose. Jeremy Nelson and Half Past Midnight. Mike Evans, It's No Joke. Holt Strickland and Just Ask. Chris Burnett, Little Disaster. Let's see. Renee Theobald and Pretty Wicked. Robbie Fagundes and the Sharecropper. Mary Kale and Spending Their Inheritance. The Stress Relief of Todd Boltman. Brandon Lofgren and The Gravy Train. Chase Richardson, Vibrator. Adam Kester, Walk the Line. And then Logan Stevens, Wheatland Express. I don't know. If it is, he already got the chassis painted lime green. So... which it was orange. I don't know. So yeah, top 7. All right, and then 95 limited pro stocks. So I believe this should be the last class. And this is top 5, I believe, in this class. We're gonna start out Oliver Eilenstein in A Matter of Time, Michael Fanning in Bad Habit, Bad to the Bone, Patrick Payne. Ken and Sydney Summers with Colorblind, Kevin Engelking in The Dark Horse, Ethan Weston and Deer Hunter 4.1, John Coots, Diggin' Deer, Jed Pettis and Dixie Deer, Nathan Brown in Double Vision, Randy Stuckenschneider and Family Feud, Darren Ratterman, Full Bore, Mike Gerlach and G-Force, Brad Foster and the Hillbilly Moonshiner. That used to be the sibling rivalry.
Yep.
Justin Smith and Moody also used to be the Change of Pace. Gage and Rod Schottel and the Old Black Magic. Dusty Whitaker and Precision Pro, Running the Red of Nick Gallitz, Adam Stevens and Slow Ride, Seth Novak, the Bounty Hunter, and then Keith Myers and Weezer.
That's that all polished aluminum looking tractor, right? The John Deere Weezer?
Yep.
Yeah. Yep.
So that is those are the top 20.
So people asked about mods. It's kind of invite only. We're going to take care of that. If you're a modified puller and interested in coming, just message the Facebook page or get hold of one of us. Same with semis, right, Brent? Is that our stance?
Yep. So I started reaching out the last week or two. Some of those competitors, more specifically semis, mods. We actually have verbal commits from 6 already, and they just reached out to us and interested in coming. So that's a positive sign that hopefully we have a full class of 10 this year, which would be awesome. We got some good interest from semi competitors this year as well. So hopefully, try to keep growing every year. It seems like we just get one more, and we're hoping to get at least 8 this year is kind of my goal, and kind of see where we're at. But other than that, 85 Limited Pros, that's another promoter's choice class. Those invites have already been sent out, and we made that post back in November. And I think we still have a couple more that still need to register, but they still have time until we have to start bugging them. And then also Facebook page, we started going through and making the post daily throughout the week for the invites that have already registered. So we will continue that and probably have a post like that every day until the Pullers Championship, May 16th and 17th.
Awesome. So, okay, the fan vote, again, goes to February 9th at 11:59 p.m., right?
Correct.
Awesome.
Yep.
Awesome.
And then another thing just want to put out there is we're looking for sponsorship. Anybody that you know, or if you want to sponsor the event, please do get a hold of one of us. You can message our page, or we now have our own little sponsorship email called sponsorship@thepollerchampionship.com, and you can get a hold of us there as well.
Good deal.
Awesome.
Good deal. Well,
Thanks,
cool,
Steve.
Brent. Thanks for coming on tonight. We'll have you back on in 2 weeks. So.
Awesome. Yep. And just to let you know that we're already flying through votes here. So
yeah, I was going to ask.
a lot coming in. So I think we'll probably by the end of the night be well over 1,000 votes already tonight. So
what's the most popular class that people are voting for so far?
Oh, I can tell you that in just a second. Let me just create a report.
I get people ask me all the time how they're doing. I'm like, I don't even know. Brent won't even tell me because he knows I got a loud mouth.
He's got yeah.
Oh, let's see. So
Steve
far,
Bunnies, I hope everything goes good at the farm show so you can come to the pool.
Yeah. So this is big news right here. Yep.
That's always what we worry about is our competitors that have already registered or just
a lot of you watch the farm show and cheer. We watch the farm show, and if they live and there's no big bangs, we're like, yes. Oh shoot.
Let's see. The most voted class right now is 2-wheel drives.
I was wondering because based on the way you guys were talking with the Mid-South pullers and the TNT, and that being a new to this year class, you know, where it was original and then the 4-wheel drives came in. Now we're back to the 2-wheel drives. So that tells me those guys are making their voice heard saying we want to be a class.
And honestly, it is the complete opposite of year number one. Year number one, I went through about 200 competitors until I filled the class.
You said, please come.
Yeah. And so it took a while.
They weren't back the next year.
Yeah. And then, you know, we had a lot of competitors that wanted it, and we want to keep changing things up so it's not the same every year. And now they've come out of the woodworks and are definitely trying to, you know, support the event the best they can. And we appreciate them. And, you know, now moving forward, it's going to be like, well, you know, they're one of the classes that really want to be there. It's going to be a lot. There's a lot more conversations that are going to have to be had then moving forward on what classes that we need to switch out. So hopefully it grows big enough where we can have, you know, more classes,
more sessions.
Yep.
Yeah. Like that.
Holzhauer has if they will build it if they come. Is that all the same? Yeah, they got to come before he'll build it. Yeah. The Iowan said the other way around. Brent, thanks for all that you do. We appreciate you. He cannot be bribed. Okay, he's way more honest than I am. So it's all. That's why I'm in charge of promotion.
Jason Schultz says I can be bought.
I'd have it all done already. Like the final round would be like, all right, see you guys. Oh, cool. Thanks, Brent. Have a good night, buddy.
Yep. You as well. Take care, guys.
Bye. Brent Yerone. Hey Siri, call Brent Yerone. See, watch.
Calling Brent Yerone, mobile.
See how they said it? I did forget to mention Murfreesboro, Tennessee is this Friday and Saturday. We'll be down there shooting some video for Full Pull, and we're excited for that. And I'm going to talk to the 5-0 pullers that are pulling down there because we want them to come to Florida February 7th and 8th, just at Dirt Motorsports. We have the promoter, Mark Kelsey, and their mouth, their Mike Eitel, the mouth of the Just Add Dirt Motorsports, the Matt Hart. So should we bring them on one at a time, or do you have a drum roll or anything?
Don't. Hey.
Oh, yeah, go.
Matt Hart sent me a Snapchat during the Chiefs game yesterday, and it said, "Go Bills." So if we want to just leave him backstage for a little bit and talk to Mark,
that's what friends do to each other, and I like that a lot.
Go Bills, says the Bears fan.
We're going to play our promo video, and we're going to bring on the guys. Go ahead.
It's time to make the ground shake. Join Just Add Dirt Motorsports on February 7th and 8th for 2 nights of intense truck and tractor pulling. The action starts at 6:30 p.m. each night. Don't miss the power, the noise, and the dirt slinging thrill. Be there where legends are made.
All right, Kelsey, are you in Florida, buddy?
Yes, I am.
How's the weather?
76 and sunny today.
Ooh.
Did Satsuma get any of the snow that everybody was freaking out about?
No, we didn't get any down here. No, this is north and west.
Good. Well, welcome to Let's Grow Points. Good to see your face, Mark. Normally we put up with that guy over there to your left, but that Matt Hart guy, but he's not too bad. So
we're getting along. We're getting along. How's everybody doing tonight? Great to see you, Mark. Thanks for jumping on. I figured a little bit of Porky Bells and a cocktail or two, I might be able to twist your arm to jump in tonight. So thanks for
that's pretty much what happened.
Good stuff.
Matt, we're 11 days away from the Just Add Dirt Motorsports Park Extravaganza, hosted by the Kelsey family. And we are excited. Mark got an awesome call about some Pro Stock tractors. I'll let him talk about that. But Matt, take it away, buddy. We got 30 minutes, so take a deep breath. We don't have to sell no cars tonight. We're selling people to come and watch us in Satsuma, Florida.
Yeah, I've got one gear. You guys know that, but I'll try my best to make it legible for the closed captioning out there. We're super excited. 11 days away. Mark just got there. Saturday, Sunday, Mark. So that's exciting. He's there in one piece, and the crew's coming together. And we're going to start 6:30 both nights, Friday, Saturday. Get there early because Mark's going to tell you your admission is going to include your pit pass, right? And it's wide open. So if we're going to help grow polling in Florida, the best way to do so is show off some of those pollers. And Mark can talk about that a little too, how he had some guests come in and ask him about a couple of his tractors and what that was all about. And, it's kind of fun. So what is it, $20 a person? So can't beat it. And then the kids 7 to 11, are they 10 or 15? They're affordable. They're cheaper than a night out anywhere else. And everybody under 7 years old, like most of Mark's grandchildren, are free. So that's exciting time. So if spectators are coming out, love to see you. But we got some great polling action going to be happening, not only just local, but some national level stuff too. So there's one breath, guys. There's one breath. No, we're excited. Yeah, a lot of fun. Mike, you did a great job on the voiceover for a Chiefs fan. I think it sounds good. People are getting excited. You're going to see Satsuma, Florida. And Mark, how far are we from Mickey Mouse and his big ears? What's it, about an hour and a half the way you drive, or is it more like an hour?
Yeah, it's like an hour and a half, I believe. Depends on traffic.
Yeah, very good. If you just go in the ditch like some of those Floridians do, you can get there in about 45 minutes,
Yes.
But we're excited. You got 5 billboards up this year in a couple different spots. Is that right?
Yes, four billboards, and we were just out putting up 4x8 signs today in certain places.
Perfect. Can't beat that. And the weather's looking better. I see someone commented on the Facebook page that, let it be nice weather. Well, that's why we come to Florida, because we know it's not been great here at home either, but it's better. So we're looking good. It sounds like a lot of fun, and it sounds like mid-70s throughout the next 14 days, if I'm not mistaken.
That's what I saw too.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Matt, that doesn't suck. I just want to throw that out.
It's funny because last year I was so excited about how nice it was, and it was 55 degrees at night at the pool, and I'm up there in my T-shirt sweating, just having the best time of my life, and the people in the crowd had their coveralls on, and they're like, it's a different kind of cold down here, and it's like, well, you could say that. It's a different kind of heat in July, but I'll take that 50 in February every day of the week at night. So it's good stuff. It's good stuff. Going to be a lot of iron down there. Mark, we know Outlaws being new this year. We're excited for that. What's your counts looking like so far that you know about your 5.0s and 3.0 trucks?
So I had a call tonight from the Smith family up in Michigan, and they're bringing 3 more 5.0s tractors down.
Oh, good.
They'll be here probably next Wednesday. They told me.
So they have Sneaky Snake, and I forget all of them. Kenzie, do you know? Who knows which 3 5.0s they have? So
yeah, I'm not real sure. I just know that Sneaky Snake is a name I'm familiar with from way back when. It's been around since the 70s, I believe.
Yep.
Yep.
Well, we would encourage them to they can get pre-registered on the Outlaw app, download that app, and it's super easy, just very intuitive. Go in there and click on event, and then they can go ahead and get pre-registered on that. And I saw on that app as well, it looks like we've already got 7 pre-registered 3.0 trucks too, which is a number higher than what it was, I think, this time last week. So we're seeing those guys start to trickle in there. So that's really cool that they can do that on this side from the Outlaws as well.
Yeah, I think we're waiting on Kentucky right this weekend. Jason alluded to that with the video with Full Pull. I think Mark said a lot of those guys, if they survive that and they're ready to come to Florida, they're on their way. I think 40-50% of the people you talk to, it sounds like if they get through, is it Murfreesboro, right?
Yeah, Murfreesboro, Tennessee.
Yeah, Tennessee. I'm sorry. Yeah, my fault. The only 10 I see is in Kentucky, apparently. No, get to Tennessee, get through that, and then keep heading southeast down to Satsuma. It's on the way, right?
That's right.
Yeah, it's not far. It's not that far all the way at all. It's a great place. Fans, I've been there. We talked. Mark's a dirt guy. He brought Georgia Clay down into Florida to build a power track. Scott Tedder went like 400 feet last year, got hooked up and got rolling the floor ones. We're picking their front ends up and carrying them. It's a power track, and I know we have some Grand National and big time PPL mini rods. Jeff Hurt's bringing 2. Cody Singletary's bringing 2. Lindsey and Brad or Kevin Campbell are coming. Brad has a decent super stock. I know Kevin Hill's coming down. We should have 10 to 12 of some of the biggest mini rods in the country coming down as well. So we're excited for that. So excited for that.
Well, I can't beat it. Mark here, he'll build a track that can sustain it too. I think a lot of people, we talk about it each week, God bless you. Down in Florida, there's a lot of sand, which is great because it drains, but sometimes you need that clay, and some of that red dirt packs in real nice. And Mark, you were telling me, are they silo covers? What do you use that cover the track? Because you've used them up north here during our Winnebago County Fair too. What do you use to cover the track to keep it dry during the day like a baseball field?
Yeah, they're 100 by 100 pit silo covers. Yep, straight. I brought them down from Wisconsin, up by Monroe's where I get them.
Yeah, and we see Terry Earls, right? He's with Bull Snot, and they're going to add $500 on the 3.0 class Saturday night. Is that right?
To the winner, Matt.
The winner. Yep.
Yeah, winner take all on that $500, because if you're not first, you're last. I like that. So Bull's not helping us out there. We can talk about light super tractors too. How have you heard from anybody new on that, Mark? We know yours is did you get it down there? Did you get your tractor down there? Is somebody driving that down? Maybe it's Mr. Jordan driving it down for you.
Yeah, no. Don Demas and his wife are bringing it down for me the week of the pull. So I flew straight here from Washington State, been working out there. So they're going to bring it down for me along with the stock farm tractor I have, or altered farm, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, Mark, that thing's not stock. It looks stock, but until you crack the throttle.
Yeah, it's stock appearing.
Yeah, it's stock appearing.
Yeah. It appears stock until he opens the throttle and the whole sky turns black.
Well,
okay. It's the only time I've seen Mark's hair move a little bit is he's going so fast without a helmet. See, but he's still smiling, which is good
It's
news.
a good time. I love that thing. It's so much fun.
That poll we went to in Winnebago that Mark had, those guys were going 390 feet. Old Matt, that was ISP, right, Matt? And then we had some other classes, right?
Yeah. So you'll get some stock ones out of there. It's a lot of fun, and they got a good turnout up there. They know Mark builds a good track like he's building in Florida, and you're right, man. They're going 380, 390 feet, and they're doing it. They're flying. They got bugs in their teeth, and they're proud of it too. It's like, okay, stock, sure, and I'm sober tonight.
Are you sure?
I'm gonna ask you that same thing.
Oh, that's great. And then this will all be live streamed as well on Full Pull. And Jason, we're going to have some games going on down there in conjunction with that, or next
week, Mark and I are going to get together in the lineups, and we'll submit them into. We'll have some head-to-head matchups probably for those people that want to, who do you think will do the best out of these? So, based upon what we're hearing, I'll reach out to Mark next Monday or Tuesday, and then send that over to the people at Full Pull. Check that out.
Yep. So for those of us who are, stuck in Missouri because we have to teach on Friday or whatever's going on there, we will be able to get our teeth on some live pulling action on Full Pull. And of course, if you don't have Full Pull, why not? And now's a great time to get it. And if you do have Full Pull, excellent time to dive in there and look at that and play the games and be a part of it. So great way to experience it all over the country.
Yeah, I'm excited to get with big pulling,
Exactly.
So.
It's going to be a lot of fun. A lot of fun. We got Murfreesboro, Tennessee this weekend. Again, all you 5.0s and 3.0 diesel trucks. But they run light supers there too, right, Kelsey? At Murfreesboro?
Yes, they do. Yeah.
Okay. So we need to talk to everybody this weekend, Kenzie. Get them down there.
I've had I think 3 inquire. I know there's 2 coming for sure. Hopefully, we're gonna have some more come out of there. There's some talk of it. So, yep.
And then some of our classes more regionally, that your naturally aspirated mini class will be huge, Mark. We had 16 or 20 last year. Matt, do you remember exactly?
Yeah, I think it was like 24. Honestly, It was just a huge turnout for the NA minis. I know a couple of the Northerners said they can't make it this year. Our old buddy Chuck Hobbs is stuck up north this year, but I think you'll still see 20 and a lot of local representation there, which is super fun. So not only for the fans, but, this poll didn't exist, 4 or 5 years ago, Mark. So, just having it gives them another one to hang out at and even tech and tune if they want to. There's bragging rights for this show.
Yeah, I believe we're probably going to have to split up the natural minis for big and small block class, because I think we've got maybe 6 to 8 big blocks coming and probably 15 to 20 small blocks. So we'll be dividing those up.
Yeah, great to show that to the crowd a little bit, and then of course you've got your supercharged, the big boys too, which is kind of fun contrast throughout the show. And they're not pulling for any points, for the season. They're just coming down to hang out with us in Florida and have a great time, and do some bragging rights for the Satsuma show, right? And love that picture, by the way.
Yep.
Yeah, those are some of the big minis that you're going to see. That's one of Singletary's. I think that's Carolina Night Train 1. We took that picture. Kenzie did, right?
Yeah, North Carolina.
And Raleigh. And Cody's coming down with 2. Like I said, Jeff Hurt's coming down with a couple. He texted me this morning and asked me if I was going. Mark, he's like, we got to go to that bar and do all those lemon. Were those lemon drops or lemon shots? What were we doing?
I don't know.
I don't remember.
Yeah, we already warned Cheyenne's down the road that we'll be in.
That they're coming down.
Good. Yeah, tell them get some extra help. They're going to need it because here we come. Here we come. Yeah, Jeff was bellied up to the bar pretty tight there. I think he enjoyed himself. We were all having a good time that first night for sure.
Kenzie, go find the Facebook post today. I posted, said, who post a picture if you're coming. Not everybody, but just I want the fans in Florida to realize that they're seeing some national stuff, and that's fun. Holt might come. I think we're kind of counting on it.
Mm-hmm.
Today, they said if you're coming to Satsuma, post a picture right there. Yeah,
went past her.
So go down to the comments.
Boys coming. Oh.
You click on the comments.
Oh, that's
and then click on each picture.
Remember, you need her to help you. Don't get sassy.
No, we've been fighting all night. Don't worry.
Okay.
well, the post I couldn't read.
Who's winning the fight so far?
Kenzie always wins.
Oh, good.
We're going to have some full pull bats on.
So these are some of the 3.0 diesel trucks. That's a great shot by Jesse Post. That'd be Cloverdale. Is that full Cloverdale, Kenzie?
Yep.
Okay. So that's some of the 3.0 diesel trucks you see. They don't have to put the smoke tubes on outside, but that's for indoor pulling there. I'll have Kenzie flip through all these here. That's the redheaded stepchild. That picture's from Zellwood, just up the road or down the road. Doug, which way? Down the road from Zellwood. That's the redheaded stepchild of Anthony Hoisington. That's the V8 class, the V8 hot rod tractors. Here's another 3.0 diesel trucks.
I believe we have 7 to 8 of those V8 tractors coming.
Okay. We have somebody coming from Indonesia. Pri Capius is coming from Indonesia.
Big pulling fan. We hear from him a lot.
Yeah, we do. I love this thing. That's a little natural aspirated too. That's got cool stance. Can you zoom in on that, Kenzie? That's got cool stance, Mike.
Stance will make her dance.
Stance will make her dance. Heart,
right.
I love all your sayings.
You're the only one, so that's nice. It's good to have you in the corner there, bud. And Mark,
Kelsey, now, this is Chris Graham. That's a big block mini. And that's what Mark was referring to earlier. They're going to separate the big block natural aspirated from the small block. But that tractor runs. That's a good runner. So I think we saw him in Zellwood a couple weeks ago. Who else you got, Kenzie? That's it. So far. So if you're coming, post a picture in the comments and let us know. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. So
now,
that's
Mark,
a good.
Sorry, go ahead, Mike.
No, go ahead, Matt. You got it, man.
Well, I was just going to say, we were talking a little bit about the track improvements, at least from the facility standpoint too. So year after year, Mark and family work really hard to do new things to improve it. Obviously, they bought it in a little disrepair and they've got it in really good shape. The bleachers were a big thing last year and made a lot more room for friends that could get up there. It was kind of interesting because, again, they're used to their roundy rounds, right? They're circle track. So everybody was sitting down at, the end there in the beginning, and we want to spread them out a little. It's like, as an announcer, like, friends, pulling is really fun just about anywhere. That corner isn't going to do much for you. So, come on down. But the bleachers, and you're putting new lights up this year, Mark. You want to talk about that a little bit? The new sound system last year was great. Made me sound okay, which takes a lot of doing, so.
Yeah, we're putting up some new LEDs. We had some burnout metal halides, so we're gonna upgrade to some, probably put 6 to 10 LEDs up, 1,400 watt LEDs. They're like 210,000 looms, I believe. They're big.
Yeah, if I don't get a suntan, we can work underneath those LEDs, and Ken will be there. She'll come back tan with that, so that'll be good. And then what was the other thing we kind of talked about? It was, of course, Stacy's always working with the food stand, right? Always improving that, and parking, right? So you're gonna have a little better lighting, and a couple of the police officers are coming by, maybe to help us out with getting folks off the road into the facility a little earlier, right? Is there anything you want maybe some spectators that are coming, that are watching this, to know about getting there early, or what's best practice for getting there and not having any hassle?
Hide your beer if the cops help park.
So basically, if we can get people in the gate a little earlier. Last year we had them lined up out on Highway 17 for almost 2 miles, trying to get them in the gate because they all showed up at 6:25 when it started at 6:30. So we ended up not starting the event until about 7 because we wanted the people to be able to get in here and watch. We'd really like to try to keep it on time, so they can come at 4:30 and get in for free. Okay, and we're going to have a day selling wristbands early as well. I was taking orders from my wife.
Yeah,
sorry,
Stacy, just get on there. You're not that late.
Yeah, keep an eye on the Facebook page, and we'll be offering wristbands early so we can hopefully get people through a little quicker.
Oh, nice.
Little incentive to show up early and hang out in the sunshine. That sounds good.
Yeah, it's the pits are free. Come and talk to the pullers. Check out the track. Look at the sled. Get your kids' pictures. Buy the tractors.
Matt, we should do a little like Monster Jam does, like a little autograph area. Hart, are you up for that?
Yeah, I'll be there. So let's do it. I don't know anybody want my autograph.
Not just you, but we should get a couple pullers to set up there by the gate and sign some autographs. That'd be kind of fun. So,
I think
who's
it'd
this
be great.
Miranda Kelsey saying we're going to take your cash at the gate? You know her?
Yeah. If she takes it, I'll probably never see it.
You're not going to
buy the beer that night, though. That'll be nice.
Yeah.
Just take it to the bar, Miranda.
Yeah.
You have a tab.
Cool. So we get some folks in early, little incentive to show up early. That's a great idea. It's only going to alleviate things. I've been saying this every week, that the racetrack itself is quite the undertaking, but it's you and your family. And I say this on the microphone a lot too. It's like, friends, this isn't a profit sharing deal. It's not a corporate head thing. This is Mark, his wife, and the kids, as you saw Randy talking about taking the cash, from start to finish. It is the Kelsey family and us knuckleheads, as Mark, so eloquently puts, they get to hang out with them in the meantime. So, come out, have fun. It's great for the kids. It's great for the big kids. You're going to see more horsepower in some of them light supers than you'll see on anything else in Florida. And that's on the spectator side, and from the puller side, you're dealing with a person. Yeah, it's family run, but Mark's been pulling for years and he doesn't do anything, half, one cheek in it, I'll say. So, yep, Stacy's jump. Hi, Stacy. How are you? You can bop in.
You just saw your arm.
Yeah, she says, she says you got Mark, but not me. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That works. There she is. There's the boss.
Yeah, the Foresters. So Dale and Corey Forrester actually bought a new modified to them and a 3-engine mod, and so they'll have it here, and it's pretty cool ride. It's got some big Ford motors on it. I believe it had 1471 blowers on it, but they had to take them off to pull more in their class up north. And I think they put 871s on it. So they're trying to get it ready. I believe the tractor come out of Canada. It's a nice tractor.
Cool.
When you worked on this track and you bought the circle track, and I've seen some pictures of it online, are they going to pull on the front stretch, or is there like an apron down on the inside? Because we see that a lot, throughout county fairs up here in the Midwest and whatnot. Are they on a separate pulling track, or have you completely reworked that? Or tell us about how you kind of adapted that and made the changes there.
So corner number 1, we're pulling right next to the stands. You're literally 10 feet from the tractor, but we have a 4-foot concrete wall. You're actually above everything. We have a 4-foot concrete wall, and then we have a 12-foot fence, for the race cars. So it's a very safe facility for pulling. I feel one of the safest I've ever been to. It's 105 foot wide from concrete to concrete. We got about 400 feet of track, but it's about a 700 foot straight. And I dig out corner number 1, and put extra blocks there to hold the actual original wall up. And then, so we start way back at, in that corner, and then we pull, towards the river. You're pulling downhill about 3 feet in the 400 foot run. So it's, easy to get going. You get a lot of speed in this track. It really does. On my farm stocker, I usually go 25 to 26.
So it does have, because I've seen several pulls where they've pulled on circle tracks before, and they'll leave, all the grades and the banks and everything on them. So this does have kind of a gradual, left to right slope on it to where you can kind of use that in your whole shot. Then is that what you're saying?
No, it's flat.
Okay.
Yeah, it's flat from one side to the other. But it's you're pulling downhill the whole way. It's not level. You're pulling downhill, so everything gets rolling easy. The guy can, with the sled settings, it's real easy for them, because they can kind of let you get rolling good before they need to come on.
Yeah.
We got plenty of runoff. It's just a real safe facility, I feel.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, I was just curious about how you adapted that, because I'd seen some pictures online, but that sounds awesome.
Yeah. No, I've really it's really set up more as a pulling track than as a circle track. It really is. The only reason I put corner number 1 back in last year was because we had AMA flat track motorcycles here. It would have just stayed flat the whole summer. So we don't race cars here anymore. It's just basically pulling, and then we do dirt drags.
Oh, okay. Yep. So the days of
Mark, do you have dirt drags after or before?
After. The weekend after is dirt drags.
Okay.
14th, 15th.
Gotcha.
Yes.
Happy Valentine's Day, baby. We're going to the drag races.
There you go.
There's some pretty cool looking rigs that make that. I know that one sits there. It fired up last year and about shook the announcer stand right off the bleachers. And they're pretty cool. They got rained out last year. So hopefully, I know a lot of people are itching to see that and get back out there and have some fun with you guys.
Yes. Yep. I think it'll be a pretty good event. We had a lot of interest last year, but like he said, it got rained out.
So here we are. Yeah. You're talking about the track, Mike. It is interesting because how many circle tracks we do are at banks, right? And Mark went out there with the lasers and flattened all that out. And then he cuts out 4 or 5 feet there at the end out of corner 1. So,
and I'm glad you answered that, because that's exactly what I was curious about, because there's kind of one of two philosophies that we see when we go to these tracks is they'll build a pulling track on the infield, the apron, which can be quite a ways away from the fans. And, Mark's talking about keeping that action closer. But then I've been places, I want to say like Jerseyville, Illinois. Well, I feel like that might be on a circle track where it's got some slant to it, and you can get up on the hill and you can dive bomb it and cross track it. And boy, if you really want to, get wild and build some speed. So just curious about how he adapted that circle track, because we see, a couple of different approaches.
Yeah, the first year we had it here, we actually rented the place, and we didn't take the corner out. We actually had one sled, and everybody was pulling from the high side to the low side. You know, it was fun to watch, just where they put that sled right up tight to the wall, and I mean, they'd have a run and start at this thing. It was fun to watch.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. But then we adapted to be able to run 2 sleds, so I had to flatten the whole thing out.
No, that's gonna. I like your approach, and I like your philosophy of saying we've taken this and turned it into a pulling track and plenty of runoff, and that's something I think that we're going to see more and more and more in pulling. Build the track 450 feet, not only because we like to let these vehicles get out and run, but just for safety purposes, just to have room to accommodate for anything that could happen. So it sounds like a good spot.
Yes.
Yeah, it'd be a great way to celebrate your birthday, Mike. But apparently, you're going to be watching the Chiefs in the Super Bowl, so I guess there's that.
What are we to do? What are we to do?
Did they win again?
Yeah,
that's all we do, man. That's all we do.
You and the refs. But
hey, he's like mine. I ordered his jersey. I've got the stripes coming in for the Super Bowl. He's my favorite player on the team.
That's right. The 12th man, in Seattle is always the crowd. Now you've got 12, 13, 14 out there, but
they're all,
Taylor Swift's got to be in the Super Bowl. She's going to make her appearance. So there you go. But no, Super Bowl of pulling, Satsuma, Florida. Of course, I'm going to get the dates wrong now. Is it 6th, 7th, Mark?
6-2-2-2-9251. I got Mark's number memorized.
7th and 8th.
7th and 8th.
7th and 8th. Perfect. Yeah, so come on out. And again, we talked about some people that are coming early. They can stay. They can leave the toter homes out at the facility, right, Mark? And go venture around the beach or do whatever they want to and come on back and do some pulling, right?
Correct.
When are you flying down, Hart?
I will be there late Thursday night. I got an auction in Chicago, and then I get to fly out of Rockford this year, which is exciting. So I don't have to pay $700 a night to park, and I'm going to be
in. Hair.
That's right. Boy, they own me, man, the way it's been. But I'll be there Thursday night until early Monday morning. So we're going to have a great time. And sounds like, Corky Bells might have a little Super Bowl action happening afterwards. If Mark left anything there tonight, some of the best seafood in the world is right there. And you know what, Mark, we're going to get them to sponsor this thing eventually. So
I think we probably should.
Yeah.
They should.
Great time there. Good crew. How many people are you flying in to run this year? Does Stacy have that count yet, or are we still working on some numbers?
Too many is what she just said.
Too many.
Yeah, I know we've got.
Apparently, I just lost my ride.
We've got 4 or 5 coming this weekend, and then I think at least that many again fly down like Wednesday or Thursday of next week. Yeah, so
perfect.
Quite a few.
Yeah, it sounds like Jake's going to stay north this year. He's the grandson's out wrestling, going to be a champ of the world in wrestling, right?
Yeah, yep. That's the plan, I guess.
Yeah,
they have a big tournament that weekend, so he's not going to make it down.
We'll send him love from the fullpull.live, right? Like just like everybody else who can't make it, be sure to stream in there. And like Mike Idle's going to do, celebrating his birthday, and we might have to throw his number on there and have some people wish him a happy birthday.
Oh, dude, I would take live calls. And isn't it? Hey, it's a Friday night, right? And we know what Mike gets up to on Friday nights. How fun does that sound?
Beer 30.
I'm gonna have Ron Stone put you on speaker, and we'll have you guest announce just from a.
I want to keep my position with the Outlaw Truck and Tractor Pulling Association. Let's not, maybe don't put me on speakerphone there. So
that'll be all right. I'll keep your seat warm for you. That'll be good. It'll be good.
So Florida, we need you to fill the stands. Florida, tell your friends, tell your family, tell your coworkers. Satsuma, Florida is the place to be. National level pulling, as well as some more of the local talent coming in to the Just Add Dirt Motorsports Park. Mark, thank you for all that you do. Good luck. I know the next 10 days are stressful as holy hell. I'll be thinking of you, and we're going to get down there Wednesday night. So,
okay, we'll try to have everything done by then.
Yeah, he doesn't want us doing anything. And Doug wanted me to say you're the only one who loads a sled with a backhoe or a track hoe.
Yeah, yep.
That's how good this guy is with dirt.
pretty damn efficient too. They keep it moving. You know, I think a lot of folks, you're going to see it on the full pull live. It's like an indoor pull. We're not dicking around. It's going to keep the iron moving. You know, 100 hooks a night, no problem. It'll be a great time. Thanks, Mark, for jumping on too. I know these folks are tired of looking and listening to me, so it's great to have you, my friend.
Yes. Thank you, guys.
All of that. So thanks, Matt. Thanks, Mark. Have a good night, guys.
You too.
Thank you, guys.
Florida. Florida.
Yeah, he's a good artist.
Now we're going out west because I want to be a Massetti baby. Or something like that.
Yeah.
I want to be a Massetti baby. Is that how we do it?
I mean, if you
No,
want
that's
to do
Kid
that.
Rock. I want to be a cowboy.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna make up my own lines like I want to be a Massetti baby or something like that. So, well, this is that time of night where we go to the West Coast. We bring in our friends from MLM Motorsports. Brian Massetti, the premier promoter out there. I'm not afraid to say it. He's the man. Golden State Invitational. I got them a little pony.
Yes.
My little pony at the Love Travel Shop. And they finally took down the Melanesia out there. So, Kenzie, do we make a graphic for the Massetti
For
and Friends?
Massetti and Friends.
Can you loop it a couple times?
Yeah.
We'll bring out our Massettis. Oops. You didn't loop it.
Yeah, I know. I
There it
did
is.
it now.
All right. Let's see here. Uncle Steve, James, Kevin. Oh, they're all on tonight.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Whenever you're ready.
What's up, everybody?
Hey,
Hey, guys.
Doug's
Most
playing
exciting intro on the internet.
Tupac in the background. We gotta get that. We gotta get a music license for Tupac.
Good luck with that.
We don't get in trouble. Welcome everybody to Let's Go Play. Welcome to our West Coast audience, our friends out there. Brian, how is the weather in California, buddy?
It's cold, Jason. It's like in the 50s right now.
Awesome.
It's
awesome.
actually it's been beautiful. It a little chilly in the mornings, but sun comes out. It's great.
Nice.
We could use
Mike,
some rain, but
Mike, say good night to everybody.
Well, hello to everyone from the West Coast, and good night to everyone else watching. Have a great show, and pulling's fun, guys.
good
See you,
to see you,
buddy.
Mike. Hey, Mike.
See y'all.
Take care.
Yep.
He's got a real job.
Yeah, he does.
We gotta get him teaching them kids in Missouri to be
Yeah.
smarter. Brian, excited to have you on. We love the entire Massetti family. We've been having a lot of fun with Massetti and Friends as well. The world famous Facebook marketplace now. I think it's been very, very
Entertaining.
that's the word I was looking for. Entertaining, yes. So
Definitely.
So Brian,
course.
take it over.
Of course, we got to thank James for bringing the entertainment. So tonight we've got Dr. Mark Zahns coming on. He's going to be here probably in about 10 or 15 minutes. He had a little scheduling conflict, so he will be joining us as soon as possible. So I apologize for the delay, but that's okay because we have a great panel with Uncle Steve and James and Kev and Trevor. And I think Bree's probably hiding over there to the right of Trevor. There's our Bree. Hello.
Hey, cheating Trev.
I thought we wrote in the contract more Bree, less Trevor. I thought we had agreed upon this a couple weeks ago. Trevor.
We did, but they're not listening.
So Bree sits where you sit, Trevor, and then you occasionally say, "Hi, guys." It's not hard. It's
off
not
screen.
hard at all.
Really not.
I swear to God, our ratings go up when Bree. I'm not joking.
I
Like, we
believe
pick
it.
up a lot of numbers. So.
100%, I believe it.
All right, so get your ass up, set Bree down.
I believe you're ugly, Trev.
It's really not hard, honestly. I mean, you listen about as well as your Uncle Kevin. Speaking of Kevin, how are you, buddy? How's the horse? Are you keeping it fed and watered? And
Oh yeah, he's up in the stable right now. He's doing good.
good.
Yeah,
We're going to need that little son of a bitch and all the power he can muster in about 2 weeks.
Yeah, he's coming.
Good.
Or she, whatever it is.
I think we can say he or she now. I think that's been
Yeah, there's only
been
two.
determined. We're back.
That's all that's left.
It's been defined.
It's just the boys and the girls now.
Yeah, oh, I love it.
The rainbow unicorn.
Yeah, if you don't love social media right now, you have. I don't care which side you're on. It's funny as hell.
It's awesome.
I bet there's one side that doesn't think it's funny, but
Yeah,
that's okay.
6 million people don't care about them.
That's right.
That's what I'm gonna say. Trevor still has not listened to at all. Send him a private.
Bree's busy right now.
No, this is. We do this every Monday night, Trevor. This isn't hard. This isn't hard.
Yeah.
How's the van, boys? How's the
Odyssey? It's good.
Oh, good.
Yeah, we looked into insuring it because that's probably something we should do.
But we said, fuck that.
Huh?
Continue.
And
carry on.
It was going to be like 3 times the cost of the van just to insure it.
Yeah, that's what happens. Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll see.
We don't need that.
So can the van become? I mean, can it become a race vehicle for the?
Yes, exactly.
It just turned into a race car.
I think it might be a Cal Poly pit vehicle. That's what.
Hey, do we care if we play a couple quick rounds of Facebook Marketplace, James? Is that cool with you?
That's fine. Do you want me to? I don't really want to use the ones I have. I mean, I can.
We can just. We can take a break when Mark comes on.
How about?
He said this thing needs Chrome. What the hell does that mean, Mark?
Google Chrome.
Google Chrome.
Google Chrome.
It's a browser.
Yeah.
But I mean, does it have to be that? He said that his text was this thing needs Chrome ? ?
Well, no, you can use it works better on Safari.
Mm-hmm. Any browser.
Anything.
I forgot that he's a professor, but he's not as tech savvy is what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
He is a doctor, but he's an older doctor.
Okay.
Trev, how's the sled going?
Yeah. It's good. Actually, I could try and show a picture. We put the weight box in and pushed it around, pushed it to the front and back of the sled a couple times, and it rolls pretty good.
What's the total weight of the sled going to be?
Probably right around a little over 5,000 pounds, I think.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
Hi.
And then let's see, that's all the way at the back of the sled there.
So you got the wheels in and everything, obviously on the box.
Yep, you can kind of see it right there. It just sits right in the I-beam, and everything bolted in pretty good, and it's
looking
coming
good.
Yeah,
pretty sweet.
We're gonna be done by April.
Hopefully, but we'll see. It might not be all, done, but I think tomorrow we're gonna try and get the pan under the frame, get that all connected. Then it'll really look like a sled. So that'd be cool.
Do you have teeth on the bottom of that pan, or is it just flat?
Flat. Yeah. But I'm gonna have some little I don't know what you'd even call them, but like shanks that you could drop down, and they're just pinned in so that way, if you really need to stop something big, you could. Not big, but you
seems like that would be effective.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, these mowers these days, they got a lot of horsepower.
Chain. It's got 2 wheels and a chain. By April, we can pull it.
That's right. Yeah. Or if it's a Honda minivan, we can pull it.
Coming from guys who have a Honda Odyssey that's not insured.
Yeah. Is this the first time you guys have actually looked into insurance, though, like in life?
Well, I just assumed it would be less for a 1990.
So yes,
Kevin, the answer is yes.
Yes, that's a yes.
Yes.
Okay, no, but that
yeah,
that insurance sucks.
It wasn't born to be a daily commuter.
Wait, but are you really saying for just pure liability, just for liability coverage, it was 3 times the amount of the van?
Yeah.
Did you put all of your names on it, like all the owners? That might have been a problem.
No.
All these Cal Poly kids.
Is it registered to any of you?
Me.
Good luck, bud.
Yeah, that's too bad.
It's okay.
Just wing it. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, no, it'll be good. That would be a legit entry for this race that we're doing, right?
Yes.
Except it was overpriced.
I think that's what started
No, it was not overpriced.
569 was the
$569.
Wait, what'd you pay? I thought it was $675.
$500. $500.
Oh.
So there's still a $69 budget to fix a head gasket.
Okay.
You're ready.
Yeah, I think you could do it.
Yeah.
And I think that was the catalyst for the whole race. Like that's what started.
Yes, exactly.
No, you're right. Yeah.
I've got a
So-
great option too. If anybody in the audience is interested in participating later on, you're going to see. Who commented that?
Not me.
Come on.
I mean, it does seem pretty obvious.
With the head gasket and all.
Well, yeah,
and they cut off the catalytic converter, and yeah.
Well, but that's
No, the
that's in
catalytic
field.
converter is intact.
Yeah, it's in.
On
The
the
muffler
roof?
is
Oh
gone.
no, it's in a field.
No,
Oh, you
no,
left
no,
the
no,
cat?
sorry. The cat
is on
still
there.
Oh,
The
so it's like
muffler-
cat back.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's a cat back exhaust, or like
Cat end exhaust.
cat end. Yeah,
Just cat.
dome. Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But,
yes.
to sum up last week. Oh,
Ah,
There he
Oh.
is. There's
Dr. Zons.
I was just wondering about you.
I'm not 100% sure he can hear us yet.
You can't hear us.
Oh no!
Is his volume turned up?
I was gonna say,
Push
did you
up.
try the volume.
Start.
Oh, tell him
Push
to turn on
buttons.
his hearing aids.
No.
I think it's. Oh, it's on a computer. That's good.
Mm-hmm.
Probably like a mute button. Maybe there's like a mute.
I think Brian's probably texting him these things as we speak.
Yeah.
Dr. Zons. I don't think he can hear me.
Brian, you could call him and talk him through it if he's on his computer.
Yeah, see if
We
he
got
can
one
hear the
speaking.
phone, because that might be the issue. Maybe the hearing's gone.
So, Trev, you're going to tell us something about last week with the. I feel like it might have had something to do with the exhaust on the Odyssey.
What's that?
You said you started by saying something about last week, and then Dr. Zahn popped up.
No, that was me.
Oh, sorry, Jay.
That's good. I was going to say, for those that didn't catch it, last week we talked about the race we're going to have, named to be announced. I see John Boer already has a team for it, which is great. Text me if you want to be involved. But essentially, we're going to have a very high horsepower, high action, full contact race where every vehicle has to be purchased for less than $569.
Mm-hmm.
We need 3 drivers per vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
So-
And maybe like a pit guy.
And maybe a pit guy. And if you know someone who is maybe like a nurse or any
Yeah.
any sort
Medical.
of first responder would be great.
EMT, somebody that has an
Medical, yeah.
ambulance would be great.
Yeah,
I think
ambulance
I'm
would
on.
be very
I'm on
nice.
team with John Boer, I think. So he's like the medical
Okay,
guy, because or fire.
fire for sure. Yeah, he's good at fires.
Oh, we lost Brian now. This is going well.
Anyways, but if anyone is interested in participating, please give me a call or text or message me on Facebook. And there's no set date. Nothing is really determined about this race except for the fact that we want it to happen. So
there's some things that are set.
No, there are some.
I mean
things.
the labs.
Just the timing and all of that.
Yeah, like if it's actually going to happen, that's yet to be.
Yeah,
seen.
that's the main concern. But we do have a location, and
Yeah.
we already have one vehicle entered for sure.
The Odyssey, right?
The Odyssey, yeah.
Yeah.
And we have a great track idea laid out.
The shape is awesome.
The shape goes like this. It's a heart.
Some might call it a heart.
Yeah, you could use the word.
Yeah.
No, he
I'm
likes
going to give a visual. Yeah. Yeah, like that.
Just like that.
Yeah.
So we lost 2 people
Great.
so far.
Mm-hmm.
No, we're letting them talk behind the green screen. You're behind the scenes trying to figure out.
We'll
the
just
sound.
keep talking about the race.
Yeah.
Want to keep
Or
doing that?
if you guys will talk about Tulare, is that February 12th or something?
Probably.
Dates on that.
February 12th,
Yeah, it's
Wednesday.
the same as time as our farm show.
Is it okay? West Coast
Yeah.
Farm Show and the Louisville Farm Show.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be a fun one. There's a
Cal Poly bringing the tractors out there?
tractor. Yes. Oh, I got some pictures I could show.
Oh, let's see them, Trev.
Let's see. This weekend we finally tore apart Thunder. Obviously, we could see the internals from the massive hole in
Yeah,
the
you
block.
tore it
but-
apart a couple months ago, dude.
It had a
Yeah,
window. It had a preview window.
It had a preview window, but we wanted to see the full movie, you know. And well, let's see. Here's cylinders 2, 4, 6, and 8. You can see number 6 is not sitting too pretty there.
It's a different color.
Well, it's actually not flat.
different angle.
It's
It's
at
a
an
different
angle.
size too, apparently. Different angle.
Yeah.
I think it'll still run though.
Maybe, but
did
then
you try it?
If you look at the other side,
Don't show me the other side. Well, that
you
looks
can
good
see-
too.
well, right there's a hole to the outside world.
Yeah.
Hey, Trevor, you know what's really cool?
What's that?
If you send us these pictures ahead of time, we can like put them on the screen and everything.
Yeah, I'll send them to you right now, Jason.
Hey.
How about that?
A little late there, Trev.
Well, that's true, yeah.
We got the
Dr.
picture
Mark,
though.
can you hear us?
I can hear you now.
Hey,
Oh,
there.
what happened?
There is a God. There is a
Miracle.
Miracle.
Just started working all of a sudden, but the iMac is insisting that I have to use Chrome.
Well, we're glad you're here.
No. There he is.
Anyway, okay, we're good.
We're
All right,
good.
well, say something amazing, I guess.
Well, that's impossible for me. Hey, I gotta shut these other lights. Hang on.
Come here.
That might be better.
There we go. You look good.
Looks good.
Yeah, it looks real good.
What's new, guys?
Brian, you want to unmute and
Brian,
use
you're
Dr.
muted.
Zons?
Oh, geez, guys.
This is going so good.
We're professionals.
There we go.
Jason muted me. I didn't mute myself.
Well, I didn't mean to question that. Jason, go ahead and mute Brian again. It's cool.
Yeah, sometimes people have to go into timeout, and now he's out. So now you can.
Okay, now I'm out of timeout. So, Dr. Zons, thanks for joining us.
Well, I've been looking forward to this all day long.
Well, it's an honor for all of us to have you on here. Some of us, Kevin, Stephen, and myself, and even my boys, have grown up knowing you. And I think to know Mark is to admire him and look up to him. If everybody that I know, and we run into your old students at a lot of the events we go to, and it's clear the impact that you have on everybody's life. So we really appreciate you being with us tonight.
Well, you guys are far too kind. Far too kind.
Well, none of the rest of those assholes said that. I'm the one that's saying that.
In fairness, I asked you to unmute so that you could say it. Like, I deserve at least 20% credit.
Okay.
I think you're neat too, Mark. I think you're real neat.
Well,
Me too.
Thanks.
Well, so Mark, what we like to do here is get to know our guests a little bit deeper than just pulling. We will talk about your pulling too, but why don't you tell us what you did, I guess, for your career. We know where you are now and what some of your other interests are. So what was you're Dr. Zons, but why?
Well, I guess, this goes back to why I chose to go to Cal Poly in the first place. And my brother, Mike, came up to Cal Poly in 1970 to get his degree in horticulture. And I used to come up and visit him. Most of the time it was on Poly Royal weekend. And, and I was kind of trying to decide where I wanted to go to school and what I wanted to major in. And I saw this big, long tin building and started asking my brother, hey, what goes on in there? And he says, well, that's the ag engineering shop building. And so I spent a lot of time going through and looking at the projects that students were working on at the time. And that solidified my choice to go to Cal Poly as a student. So I started in 1976. And it's kind of a funny story because I graduated in June, grew up down in the San Fernando Valley. I graduated in June and I came up here and started summer quarter. So I started summer quarter like a week after I graduated from high school because I was worried that this whole university life was going to be pretty tough, So anyway, so, I got my undergraduate degree at Cal Poly, and then I got an opportunity to teach one quarter. I guess that was the fall of '81. I got an opportunity to teach. Trevor's familiar with the Bray 121 class. That's an ag mechanics class for non-major students. So I got to teach that class, and then I decided this teaching gig is a lot of fun. And so realizing that if I wanted to make that into a career, I was going to have to get more than the bachelor's degree. So I went up to UC Davis at the time. That was really the best place to get an advanced degree in ag engineering. In fact, that was the only university in California that offered an advanced degree in ag engineering. And so I went up there with the intention of getting my master's degree and then coming back to Cal Poly. And I finished up my master's, and Cal Poly made me an offer. And at the same time, Davis made me an offer to stick around and get my doctorate. And at that time I was single. I figured, you know what, it's going to be much easier to do it now than to come back. And so yeah, that's what that is all about. And then I came running. I got to plug in my power here, guys. Hold on a second. Lori? I think I'm
Oh no.
Anyway, I came running back to Cal Poly once I finished my doctoral degree, and the rest is history. And it's kind of funny. I do not have a PhD. My degree is a Doctor of Engineering, and the only difference between a PhD and the Doctor of Engineering is in the dissertation. And it's kind of funny. I had a number of really, really fantastic instructors up at Davis, and then I had some that weren't so good. But one of my favorite instructors was in the mechanical engineering department, and he was actually, I think he was a Cal Poly grad. And I said, hey, which way should I go with this degree? And he says, well, this is how I look at it. He says, if you want to be known as the guy that wears the white lab coat and walks around with a clipboard, you get the PhD. If you want to be known as the guy that maybe has a pair of coveralls on and is greasy and dirty, you get the Doctor of Engineering. And I said, all right, I know exactly what I need to do. And I finished up there and got married to Lori, and we moved down to San Luis. I think that was summer of '86, and I started teaching in fall quarter of '86. And so that's it, guys. That's it.
So when did you retire? 2 years ago or more?
Well,
more.
I actually filled out all my retirement papers in 2016. And what Cal Poly does for tenured faculty members is it gives you the option to retire, and your retirement is based on your number of years of service and your age and all that. But they're then required to offer you 50% employment for an additional 5 years if you want. And then that extra money is on top of your retirement. And so I did that for 3 years. And so my last quarter teaching would have been spring of 19. And yeah, I figured that's enough. It's time for the students to learn from someone who's a lot younger and smarter and all that. So official retirement was in 2016. but I did teach 3 more spring quarters until spring.
Over 30 years at Cal Poly then, correct?
Yeah.
Teaching? Nice.
Yeah.
Cool.
God, flew by.
I imagine.
I bet it
flew
did.
by. Yeah, it's crazy. And some of you guys, well, you know Mike Fonts, okay? He's the announcer for the Cal Poly show, and Mike and I were classmates. He was a couple of years behind me, even though he's a couple of years older than me, which is kind of weird. But he texted me. I think Lori and I were up in Oregon, and he texted me. He says, "Hey," he says, "you know this character named Ted Kohlenberger?" And I go, "Oh my God, that guy was in my very first 421 class that I taught back in 86, 87." And it's really neat to stay in contact with a lot of my former students. Yeah.
That's cool.
You mentioned that, like, you obviously get to make a lot of good connections with a lot of students. Is there any one in particular that stands out?
That's
Well,
tough.
I'd stayed longer, so I could have kind of hammered on Trevor a little bit as a student. But, you know, boy, yeah, there are a couple that stand out. One of them, his name is Russ Angold, and Russ was one of the 3 students who built Mustang Fever back in 1999 is when they finished that tractor. And Russ was and still is, I mean, just a super sharp kid. And the interesting thing is, and Trevor, you know Bray 234, that's the power and machinery hydraulics class. I used to teach that class, and the first time I taught it was when Russ was a student, and I said, "Russ, you ought to take this class. It's a good class." And he says, I'd like to take it, but you give too much damn homework." And so the only one in the rest of the class of students, the seniors, that decided not to take my class because it was too much homework. And he has gone on to just do some fantastic things. Russ was the founder of Berkeley Bionics. Okay, now what his company did is they built exoskeletal structures for the military to help the soldiers be able to carry 120-pound backpacks and not even really feel that it's there. And his company went on to design exoskeletons for those who are recovering from spinal cord injuries and that type of thing. And it's just amazing to see what he has done with his career. And so he is one that kind of does stick out.
That's cool
in my mind. And you know, the other 2 students who worked on that tractor, they're up there too. Miles Anderson is now, I think he's actually, well, he's the head of Anderson Logging out of Fort Bragg, and Bobby Pierce was the 3rd of that trio. Bobby is he's the head of I think it's Patterson Irrigation District up in Patterson, California. So yeah, there, you know, and there's just a bunch of top-notch students out there.
Yeah.
I see John Bohr there is asking how many pulling vehicles were designed or built at Cal Poly shop. Do you guys see that question too?
Yeah, we all see it.
Yep.
That's a really good question. I'd have to kind of go through them in my mind. You know, it's my understanding that one of the first, if not the first, modified tractor in California was built in Shop 7 by Ted Link. Ted Link was a couple of years older than me. Mechanized Ag, now it's Ag Systems Management. The name of his tractor was Horse with No Name. And it's too bad I can't share some pictures with you guys, because I had some lined up to show you on my iMac here, but it's not working. So that's one. And then Dan Clendenin, who farms nuts out of Merced, he built a tractor in Shop 7. The name of that one was Big Banana. And then there was Gary Weisenberger built a tractor. This is before most of your guys' time. It had a 331 Chrysler Hemi, but it had this weird V-belt drive Paxton supercharger on it. And that engine came off of an air compressor from up at the aero unit at Cal Poly. So there's 3 tractors right there that came out of Shop 7. One of the first modified 4x4s came out of Shop 7. This thing was it wasn't much bigger than a side-by-side really, but it had a 426 Hemi in it. I can't remember the name of that, but then let's see. So there's those 3 tractors, and then they're really, my roommate when I was in college, he had a mini modified, had a 426 Hemi in it. The name of it was Defiance. He did quite a bit of work on that in the shop. And then there really wasn't too much that I can recall until 98, 99, when those 3 students built Mustang Fever. And I got to drive that tractor one time at a pole in Paso Robles, and I decided that
once was enough.
Once was enough for that tractor. That if I wanted to keep doing it, I'd have to build my own. So I built mine 2 years later.
Why don't you tell us about yours, Mark?
Why?
Because that's what everybody's here to hear.
Well, you know, I guess I can't talk about my tractor without talking about Mustang Fever, because those 3 students, when they, hey, that's a nice picture there. Those 3 students, when they asked if they could build Mustang Fever as their class project in 421, 422. Trevor knows about, Trevor's in 422 right now this quarter, right, Trevor?
Yep, I am.
Yeah. So that was their class project in my class. Their project was actually one of 8 projects that came out of that class.
Wow.
And so, you know, when Gary Weisenberger and I started talking about how can we build a tractor for Cal Poly that, you know, is going to be reliable and but still have a decent amount of horsepower, and we knew right away that we just have to get our hands on an Allison engine, stock Allison engine, and we started making phone calls and to the guys that used to run those back in the late 70s, early 80s, and we were able to get our hands on one. And you know, there hasn't been much that's been done to that engine that is now being used on Mustang Legacy. A few repairs here and there, but it's the same crank and pistons, and none of that has been changed in that engine. And so when I built mine, I knew I got to do the same thing. I can't compete with these guys that have blown Hemis, and to me, it's, you know, I strongly feel that consistency is the name of the game, and you know, I don't tell too many people, and I don't know how many people are listening. But,
it's just the 7 of us.
Okay. Yeah.
There's like 4,000. That's all.
Yeah. Okay. Good. I've got over 450 passes on my tractor, and it's the same clutch. It's a 5-disc Crowler. I mean, so it's a it's a pretty robust clutch, but it is time to replace the floaters and the discs.
Yeah.
But,
What's
yeah,
the?
that's impressive.
What's the state of the world of Allison engines right now? Like, what if a guy? Can you find them?
You can still find engines that guys have stashed in their barns. I did buy with my partner Leo. We bought a backup engine that's still in a crate, and I still have that out in my shop. I robbed the fuel pump off of that because it's a bigger fuel pump than the one I originally had. But that's the thing is some of these are still stashed in different places. I know where there's one in Santa Maria right now, and the guy's trying to sell it to me, but
will it fit in a Honda Odyssey?
My wife's not going to support that idea. But here's the thing: is they'll make pistons. They'll make pistons. The Allison's the same bore and stroke as a Cummins 855. Okay, 5.5-inch bore, 6-inch stroke, and so they'll make pistons. Aries will make pistons. There's other guys that'll make pistons for that bore. Nobody makes custom connecting rods, and I think that's because you can still get ones out of old engines, and it's kind of a unique design. On one side of the block, you've got blade rods. On the other side, you have fork rods. So you got the blade rod and the fork rod both on the same journal on the crankshaft. Nobody has made an aftermarket crankshaft for those engines. And the crankshaft is the coolest thing. You know, they made right-hand rotation Allisons and left-hand rotation Allisons. And all of the single engine aircraft that used the Allison engine in World War II, those used what was known as a right-hand rotation engine. The twin engine aircraft, like the P-38 Lightning, had both a right hand and a left hand so the torque would counteract.
Balance out, yeah.
And balance it out. And so they made far fewer left-hand rotation Allisons. Now the left-hand rotation Allison, in essence, is the same rotation as an automotive V8, okay? So what we did with my tractor, with Cal Poly's tractor, is since those engines are right-hand, they're more readily available, the differential's in upside down.
No kidding.
Yeah, so it's just flipped upside down, and now
So
actually
transmission's running in reverse. I mean, not in reverse, but gears are running the opposite direction.
That's right. Now,
No
actually,
kidding.
I take back what I said. Mustang Legacy has a J box in it. So when we built that chassis, we thought that what we should do is build a rolling chassis that someone else might want to use. And there's far more guys that are running conventional rotation automotive type engines. So we built that chassis with the rear end in right side up, but then the J box switches the direction, the rotation direction. But mine is still backwards.
I mean, you wouldn't want to. The one that you found in a barn, is it right side, or right hand, or left hand?
It's a right-hand rotation. Now, what I was going to talk about was the crankshaft, okay? You can turn a right-hand rotation into a left-hand rotation. One of the things that you do is you swap sides. You put the blade rods on the opposite side, fork rods on the opposite side. And I can't remember which ones are on which side right now. The crankshaft gets flipped end for end, okay? The crankshaft has exactly the same flange arrangement on one end as it does on the other. And so the crankshaft gets flipped completely around. And then there's a reversing gear in the accessory drive that makes everything work as far as the supercharger goes. But what is interesting is the right-hand rotation engines have to have a right-hand starter motor. Left-hand rotation have to have a left-hand rotation starter motor. And
Hey, Mark, spin it backwards.
Yeah.
Over the years, is there one pulling event that stands out as, say, your favorite? Like, or one that you just a pass that stood out as your best pass you've ever had, or something remarkable?
There is one. I'm Brian, and I'm sorry it wasn't one of your shows.
Damn.
That's okay. If it's a different one, just don't mention the name of the promoter.
Jason just I'm out. Jason, you're muted.
Jason muted himself, and I nodded John.
So it was a show in Stockton, and
well, it would have been a Max Cackle. That's okay.
Right, but I'm trying to remember. Gary had his sled there, and I think I don't know if Brian, if you had your sled there as well. And the track, it rained like crazy, and the track was just horrible. And we had two tracks running side by side, and I put about 75, maybe it was 100 feet on Leroy Vieira, and which is that just doesn't happen, guys. That just doesn't happen. And I don't know why, I asked Gary, I said, what the hell? How come I went so damn far? He says, you're the only one that picked the right spot on the track. He says, everyone else chose the wrong spot. And I go, Gary, I never picked. Brian, have I ever told you where I want the sled?
No.
I don't think I ever have. I said, Gary, when you take off with that tractor, at least my tractor, your job is just to keep it between the white lines. You might try to aim this way, but the tractor's going to go where it wants to go. And in Stockton that night, the tractor chose the right path, and I just went along for the ride.
He's a mutter.
That is
the wheels were happy. The wheels were happy.
That's it.
I have a couple passes, guys, from GSI I want to share real quick. So he said, keep it between the white line or the white jersey barriers. That was 2023. That was the 2023 Golden State Invitational. If you stick around, you might win a T-shirt from the 2023 Golden State Invitational in our Facebook Marketplace game. Back to you, Dr. Mark.
Well,
yeah, I guess I have been addicted to this sport ever since I was a snotty-nosed junior high school kid. And this is my understanding is the first tractor pull in California was at Poly Royal in 1972, and I went to that primarily because my brother drove a 560 Farmall. This was before there were any modifieds whatsoever. He drove and it was a step-on skid pan, right? You guys are all familiar with that, right? Okay,
sure.
Step-on boat, right? And that was the first pull that in California. I'd been to a couple of other tractor pulls back east. I went to my dad and mom took us back to New York State, Western New York, where all of my relatives are from, and my dad's oldest brother took over the family dairy, and he took me to a tractor pull in 1969, at the Wattsburg Fair in Pennsylvania, and I you know, how could you not get excited about that? You know, and even though that was all stock tractors, yeah.
You know, earlier you mentioned the consistency of bailout, and a number of times you've won our points championship, including this 2024, the light modified points champion. So we want to congratulate you on that, and also thank you for always supporting our events. You support all the events, and that's very admirable. You keep a busy schedule all summer, and for somebody to run that many times and do that well, that's pretty awesome. So we want to thank you.
I'm lucky to have a very understanding wife, for sure. Sure.
Yes.
I was looking to see. Yeah, she's right up there hiding out there.
Did you say that loud enough for her to hear you though? 'Cause
Yes,
you may need to. Okay.
She heard it. She heard it.
Attaboy. Attaboy.
But actually, you know what? Hey, Lori, which date was it? We went to a tractor pull. Our second date was a tractor pull in Turlock.
And you knew from then on she was the one.
You know, it's
only because I let him do it.
You know, one of the things that we do, and when I was advisor to Cal Poly's team, and they're still doing it, is keeping a logbook. And you know, because you take a look at the track and you try to come up with some type of measure of hardness. And actually, years ago, we built, it's referred to as a cone penetrometer. Cone penetrometer will actually measure soil hardness. And basically, it's a hardened pointed, almost like a pencil, except it's about 3/8 inch diameter. And then it's just like any kind of other material hardness tester. It measures deflection and force, in this case, in the soil. And we thought that, you know, that'd be a good idea. We ought to start taking cone penetrometer readings and put that in our logbook. And but I think we did that one year, and then it kind of went by the wayside. But the logbook, I think, is a really good thing, because you can look at a track and you go, man, this track looks like Los Banos. The last time we were in Los Banos, which was damn near 10 years ago, and you can kind of go back and set your tractor up, you know, similarly.
We have a guy who doesn't spot the sled.
Yeah.
We have a pretty sophisticated way of ranking tracks also. It's either good, bad, shitty, really shitty, wet, dry. So, I mean, it's not quite that penetrometer thing, but
it's still pretty scientific.
It's sophisticated as hell.
I was going to say, you should see the logbook. Like a lot of them, like Madeira, I bet I wrote like hella good or something. Like it's pretty scientific.
Yeah, well, I keep a logbook in the sled too, and that's the way the tracks are ranked. They're good, really good, shitty, really shitty. You know, I mean, but it means something to whoever wrote it, but nobody else knows. But anyways, so Mark, part of our podcast also, James has this really cool Facebook Marketplace game. So if it's all right, I think we're going to turn it over to James, and he will lead us through what Jason Schultz has deemed his favorite part of the week.
Well, it's a good time. Facebook Marketplace.
Maybe I made that up. I don't know.
It is a great time.
I love it. I love it.
Well, I think I'm sharing my screen. Jason, I don't know if you can pick it up. There we go. A couple things before we get started here. I want to say, Jason, you're going to be very proud of me. I took this classroom over and took over the projector. I don't know if you can see that. So now, oh shit, I just unplugged it. Okay, I may not have the projector anymore, but well, shit, that ruined it. Anyways, it's back. I took over the projector, so now I can actually see you guys as we play. Another thing, I haven't really mentioned it, but all of the pictures I use are from Cassie Leroux, who takes a lot of pictures for us, especially this year. So I just want to mention that all of the backgrounds, like this great picture here, are from Cassie.
Nice.
So anyways, for those watching that don't know, and for Dr. Zons, essentially this part of the show, I'm going to show you a Facebook Marketplace listing, and your goal is to guess the asking price. It's Price is Right rules. So the closest without going over wins 1 point. And if you get the exact answer, you get 3 points. And the winner probably won't, but maybe might get a GSI T-shirt. Generally, if it's a family member, they don't. Sorry, Kev, but everybody else probably will at some point. Anyways, so without wasting too much time here, this is our first listing. This is actually a California truck. It's the Ghost Rider 6000 Super Stock. And he says it can make 1,000 to 1,200 horsepower, depending on how it's tuned. It's got beadlocks with boggers in the rear, full hydraulic steering. That's real paint, not a wrap. And it's turnkey. It's ready to go. He might trade for a street legal classic truck, muscle car, or an offshore cigarette, or fountain boat. I have no idea what that means, but he may trade for him. Anyways,
before we start, I would like to applaud you, Trevor, for putting your phone up on that frame behind you. We're trying to get away from the
without even being asked.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's because that's not how he's cheating. But that's
so Dr. Zons, we have a problem with Trevor cheating in this game. But
well, I was going to ask if you can use your resources to play this game.
You're not supposed to.
We prefer not, but Trevor and Uncle Kev do.
What?
You can use the resource between your ears.
It's been proven that I do not cheat, and it's been proven that Trevor does.
No, it has not.
You admitted
it's been proven,
Kevin,
it's been proven that sometimes you don't cheat, Kevin. That is what.
Let's keep it civil here. So we're gonna start off with cheating Trev. Trev,
nice.
What do you think this super stock truck was listed for?
You know, I saw this listing and I was thinking you were going to put it in.
For Christ's sake.
No, but I
you saw it 5
forgot.
seconds ago, and Bree showed it to him.
No.
Yeah.
I thought like a week ago, and I forgot what it was, luckily. But I'm going to go 23.5.
So am I.
So
Same.
Everybody's going 22.
Bree's there. Bree, can you play?
What's up?
You want to play?
Give a guess.
Give a guess. Ooh. Can I have like someone's guess? Just
Yeah,
23.5.
I'm reading the description. I'm gonna say 29.
29. Okay. Dad?
I felt like 31,000.
31. Steve?
I mean, my initial gut was 30, but I don't want to be between those two. I'm going to go with 32,000.
32. Uncle Kev?
Why are they so tight? What's everybody know?
Nothing.
You didn't want to go between them? I'll go 30 between them.
30.
Man, I'm going to be so mad when that's the right answer.
Jason?
I'm not.
I'm going to go 25.
25. Did Kenzie leave us?
Yeah, she had to get home.
Gotcha. Okay. Dr. Zons? You're the last guess.
23,501.
That's a good guess. That's literally the best.
He knows how to play the game.
Yeah, that is exactly how you play the game, and especially when it's Trevor, we encourage it.
Yep.
Correct answer though. 29,000. Bree nailed it.
Well done, Bree.
Nice.
Well, she comes from the cheating room, so it's
Wait.
not a big surprise.
Does anybody think maybe she just has a better memory than Trevor?
It's possible.
No,
it's definitely
she didn't
possible.
see it.
I have not seen this one.
We're gonna give
Excellent
Bree the
guess.
full
Good
3
job, Bree.
points though.
Oh, she deserves it.
Definitely.
Okay, now
very
I'm in the
impressive.
game. Scoot over.
Yeah, Trev, you might want to get out. Yeah.
Yeah, more Bree, less Trevor.
Yeah,
We've been
Trev,
talking
you're out of
about
the game, buddy.
So this next listing is this super sweet electric trike.
That is nice.
It does appear that this was is being sold from a retirement home based on the walker in the background, and the carpet.
Look at the carpet.
It is a Pride Sport Rider electric trike in really good condition. It's got new batteries. Everything works good. Has headlights, turn signals, horn, swivel seat, and a carrier on the back. It's got low hours, and it comes with a battery charger. It's very comfortable, always been kept inside, and it's got a windshield even that comes with it. I will tell you, this is not a custom-made vehicle. This is a production, comes like this from the manufacturer. Yeah, that's really all I got for you. It does kind of look like an.
How fast could it go?
In the back there? I don't know for sure.
Windshield.
How newer
with a
are the
windshield.
batteries? Do we know?
Trev, I'm giving you the information.
Well, they're
I get
newer.
Okay.
They're not older.
Well, they're newer. I know, but like
They're newer than
You know,
old ones.
Trev, for that
Newer
question,
than-
you're going to go first this time. Trev, what do you think this one's listed for?
Let's see. I think. Do we know the tread depth on the tires?
Man, this dude's buying time.
Trevor. Yeah.
What
What are you waiting for, Trevor?
I don't know. I'm gonna go $269.
$269. Okay, we'll
$200.
skip Bree. Dad?
I'm thinking 2,500.
2,500. Steve?
Shit. I mean, I've never been in the electric trike game, but I feel like
It's coming one day for all of us.
Not yet,
Oh,
but
getting
it's
undoubtedly.
coming.
Undoubtedly. I mean, the batteries are obviously newer than the trike. It looks a
Definitely
little
newer.
old.
Well, it says right there they're newer.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna go high. I'm gonna go 4,200.
Holy crap.
4,200. Honest Kev?
Where are we at? Thank you, by the way.
269 is the low, 4,200 is the high.
What'd Brian say?
2,500.
It comes with a windshield, dude. It's got to go fast.
Mm-hmm.
It's got to be a 3,000, 3,400.
3,400. And I can see there, we encourage all the audience members to play along. Makes it more fun. And you guys are welcome to take the guests up
front
the
end.
aisle.
Like that's a motorcycle front end kind of.
It is.
Can,
Yeah.
can we also encourage? Can we encourage the audience members not to cheat? Like,
Yes, audience, please do not cheat.
Thank you.
That clearly works well for the 7 people that we have regularly on the show. So I'm sure it'll work for the random people watching. Jason?
Yeah.
I'm gonna say $5,000.
$5,000. Okay. Dr. Zons?
I was initially thinking 3,200, but did someone else bid 3,200?
Yeah.
No,
yeah.
32,
Yeah.
but 3,400.
No,
yes.
32.
I'm going 3,200.
Okay, 32.
Oh, I was just joking.
And Bree?
35.
35. All right. Pretty interesting spread here. You guys are pretty confident between the 2,500 and $5,000 range. And then Trevor's way down there, but it might work out here. It is 3,500.
Okay, I have
Bree's cheating.
I'm pretty sure Bree's cheating.
Is there a way to like protest Bree? Just
wait, I thought she bid
I'm
32.
literally painting my nails right now.
She said 3,500.
Can we get some proof of the nail polish?
It is true, actually.
I'm painting my nails.
Wait, like we're gonna trust cheating Trev?
They have obviously.
I think Trev found it.
This is rigged.
Hey,
Mine's right there.
Bree's not cheating, guys.
Trev,
Bree would not cheat.
am I,
Okay?
am I supposed to believe you only have one device?
Yeah, I
I'll put
guarantee
my
Bree's
phone up
cheating.
there.
Bree's a cheating. This is not
No.
good.
Bree's not.
All right, we're giving her 2 points
Bree, there's another phone in the room.
because I don't fully buy it. But But
This is
I will say,
ridiculous.
if that was 2 direct guesses in a row, then I want to reward it somehow. So Bree's at 5 points. Regardless, it's going to take an almost
the rest of us are tied for second. It's fine.
almost perfect points here from everybody.
Crazy. Who do I protest?
This next listing, maybe somebody has a chance. It's another California truck. Not sure this one's name, but it's a 5500 super stock. It has a 4-speed with a Travis Centers clutch, hydraulic steering, and a 550 cubic inch engine with 20 to 25 passes on it. I can't really tell from the picture. It might be a Ford motor.
It used to be Andy Loring's truck. I don't know.
Feels like you've gotten 2 trucks that we should know pretty well.
Yeah, you should.
Well, clearly, this guy's a badass because he put a picture in there with our sled. So
Exactly. Yep.
that's what I'm talking
Dad, why don't you go first this time?
about. Oh shit.
It's because someone else is cheating, obviously.
31,000.
In addition to Kevin.
Bree, can you keep your nails in frame? And Trev, can you look at the camera, please?
Both of our phones are up there.
I'm just making sure. You guys could have another computer.
What
right
kind
there.
of computer are you guys using? Is it one that can be texted on too? Is it an Apple?
Is it an
You
Apple?
heard me. You heard me.
You heard him.
Oh, he goes like this. I'm innocent.
I'll paint my nails on camera.
Perfect.
But you have to guess.
Well, they're waiting for the answer to come in.
Dad?
I said 31,000. Sorry.
31. Okay. Steve?
I don't know. What did I go with last time? 42. That was 6,500.
That was an electric trike.
No. Oh, that was 4,200. I was trying to remember what I
You
bet
said
on
32,000. Yeah.
What did Uncle Brian what did your dad just bet?
He said 31.
I'm gonna go with 32 again.
Wow. He said 31 the first time too. Kev?
It seems like a lot.
Well, I'm kind of basing it off the last one was about that, wasn't it?
29?
29.
Last one was 29. There's 500 pounds less on this one, if you want to think about it that way.
$1.
Kev? $1.
Dude, it is way too early to.
That's a bold move for this.
You're like
early.
the third bid.
Jason?
Thank you.
$2.
There you go. There you go. That's what I'm saying.
$3. I changed mine to 3. Is it too late?
Dr.
to do that?
Zons?
18,000.
18,000. Trev?
I think 22,000.
22. And Bree?
I was gonna say 23.
23.
Winner is Bree. Yay.
Well, let's see. 10,000.
Oh my God.
Jason Schultz with a guess of $2.
I'd like to thank my Uncle Kevin for that.
Yeah,
you're welcome.
When Dr. Zons came in with the 18, I went, shit. But we wrote it out. So it's all
I'm not sure if this one's sold yet, but it is Andy Loring's truck. Yeah.
That feels like a pretty good price, actually.
This next one here, I specifically think that Brant should buy this one. Brant Sullivan. For those that don't know, he daily commutes and uses a Mini Cooper as his work vehicle. This one is a little bit more specialized for work. It's a 2008 Mini Cooper S, but it has been converted into sort of a pickup truck, if you will. It's got a 6-speed manual. It runs excellent. Brand new tires. The check engine light is on, but it's just a couple sensors. The interior is pretty clean. The back is not quite finished yet, the part that was customized. But there's no wind noise. And it's a clean title. It's only got 135,000 miles on it. It's ready to drive and put to work. Clutch, brakes, tires, heater, and AC, all perfect. It would be a cute little service truck to go with your business logo on the side. Everybody wants their
hell yeah
business logo on this thing.
I mean, the business logo is about all you could fit in the bed.
What do you think it's worth?
True. Well, that's what the roof rack is for. It gets lots of attention out and about. It's not a kit. This is a one of one. And he built it to be easy to service. For example, the rear windows are original. So if you ever happen to load a dirt bike in the back, break your rear window, you'll be able to easily replace it.
Oh, Trev, you need that.
Who in this this call here has done that?
Trevor. It was Trevor. It was Trevor.
It was Trevor, though. Yeah. I won't mention it, though. Yeah. And it does not leak in the rain, which is incredibly important if you're going to put this thing to work. As you can see here, they've loaded it up with lumber. Not sure if you can really tell there, but that bottom left picture, you could see the 2x4s up there. And obviously you can see that it looks just factory in the back there. Could use a little color correction, looks like, but other than that, it's ready to go, ready to be put to work. It's also got the license plate.
I was just going to say that.
And, you know, a lot of these newer
That's actually a very cute license plate.
It is very cute, just like the little truck. A lot of the newer pickups these days have that tailgate that opens to the side. This one does too. It's kind of
I see it.
Is it cut around the taillight there?
It looks like
It has to be.
Yeah,
That's pretty awesome. Yeah.
yeah,
Oh,
no, it's sweet.
it swings to the driver's side. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Yeah, it
Oh,
swings
shit.
out, and then but the tail light is like floating there.
But
And then,
look to the left in that picture.
Whoa.
You can see the hole where the taillight
Yeah.
goes.
Yeah.
That's a nice
That is
job, man.
custom.
It
no,
is.
it's beautiful. It needs a little paint.
Where?
But other than that, just the bumper. But that's it.
Yeah, it's,
Yeah, it's a little different color,
Yeah.
but no biggie. We're gonna
I feel like
start
that's
this
a
one
feature.
off with you, Uncle Steve.
Oh Christ!
This Mini Cooper. What do you think?
I think it's 11,500.
11.5. Would you ever consider trading in the Cybertruck for this unit?
Absolutely not.
No. Okay. Uncle Kev?
I'm gonna say, I don't know, Brian. What's a Mini Cooper go for these days?
well, I mean, a 2008 custom, I have no idea, but a little bit newer, less miles, probably around 20 grand.
I'm gonna say this rascal's 7,000.
$7,000.
Hey, how much did I say?
You said 11.5.
Yeah, that's a good guess.
Oh, I didn't know somebody already guessed.
Well, we don't really know yet, Steve.
No,
Jason?
it was.
4,900.
4,900. Dr. Zons?
7,200.
72.
Dr.
Good
Zons.
guess.
You rascal.
Cheating Trev?
4901. Por favor.
4901. Okay. And the reigning champ Bree?
I'm gonna say 5K.
5K. Dad?
55 hundo.
5,500. Okay. Some pretty good guesses here. Dr. Zons is kind of right in the middle of 72. The low end, we got 4,900. Jason, if it's exactly 4,900, you get 3 points. If it's anything other than that, you get 0 points. This one actually, though, is 4,900. Dead on. I didn't even remember that. I was just saying that to be funny. I had no idea.
Nuts.
Jason Schultz with the dead on guess.
Coming in hot.
No
Actually,
way.
here, this makes it interesting. Jason now with 4 points, trailing Bree by 1 point.
I should have 6.
Oh, shit.
Bree, I make the rules.
He has a good point there.
Jason has been, this is our 15th episode. Jason has been with us for, I believe, 14 of the 15.
Yep.
This is probably the closest he's ever been to winning, aside from every time we start the game when everyone has 0.
Right, we're all tied at that point.
Love you.
So
Jason.
is everybody else in third place right now, or does somebody else?
Everybody else is in third place. That is
Okay, good.
correct.
Good. We're
Luckily
tied
for
third.
Jason here, I believe we have 3 more listings.
Oh,
So
Jay, it is on.
it is on. This is a big moment
Cool,
for
bro.
Jason.
I'm gonna start trying now.
Probably one of the highlights
Schultz
of
is in the
social media
game now.
career, if he can pull this off. This next one here, this is a
Oh,
custom
yeah.
Peterbilt 379 golf cart. But this is a guy who manufactures them. They're all custom. They're all unique. But this isn't just a one of one. This is something where you can have it personalized. I think every puller probably needs one of these with their own custom flavor.
So we're not buying all of the 3 different ones here. It's for one,
Just
right?
one. Well, essentially, you can have a lot of add-ons to these. This is the base price for a model. Okay.
Okay. So
I
no
don't have all the
suicide
specs
doors.
on what that comes with, but we can kind of
Probably
guess
a
based on what he
two-seater.
says. But essentially, it comes equipped with air horns, turn signals, marker lights, a 420cc gas engine, stacks, and air cleaners. So those are all with every model. You get the horn, you get the turn signals, no extra fee. Then you can add on suicide doors, AM, FM radio, custom paint. You could change up the seat option. You can obviously put a bed on there. It didn't look like that was like an actual like automatic dump bed, but I couldn't really tell from zooming in on the pictures. As you can
That'd
see,
be
the
cool
hood
as hell
pops
if
up.
you had people in the back and then whoop, dump
Yeah,
it.
I'm sure for the right price, this guy would do it. I don't know if I
The
can really
seats and everything just fall out.
Yeah.
if you can see the interior though, I really want to be careful zooming in so I don't show everything. But it's got a shifter there, switches. It's pretty sweet. Got a lot of chrome.
It's got a
I like that
radio.
he's showing us under the hood, but we also know that the engine is under the bed.
Well, it's more for the
No, it's
cool factor.
I don't have a problem with it. I like
Yeah.
it.
But I think every puller needs one of these. Also, this black one here, it's got 2 rear axles. I'm pretty sure only one drives, but
looks like it has a sleeper
cool.
too.
Well, that's
Yeah,
where you
it's
put
got some kind
the
of
4
sleeper
or 6
build.
people. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it might be like 2 people back. I don't know. I wish we could have a whole gallery of
All right.
images
you
of
did
different
good.
ones. But anyways, it's sweet. And we're going to start this one off with Uncle Kev, I believe.
Those are nice. That's got to be anywhere from 10 to 100,000.
For sure.
That's a good
Are you
range.
you're just covering the whole board? 10 to
Yeah, I
100.
call all those numbers. 15,000. It's got to be.
Got to be 15. Jason?
I'm
Maybe more.
I'm at 19,000.
19. Dr. Zons?
22,000.
22. Dr. Zons, you need a pit vehicle, don't you?
No, I'm good.
He's got that
Sure.
sweet one.
This one's pretty sweet, though.
That does look cool though.
I know Cal Poly doesn't need a pit vehicle. Trev?
Can I ask where it's like? Is this in California?
No, you cannot ask. It is not in California, though.
Okay.
No wonder the search didn't work.
Yeah.
No, I'm not. My phone, both phones are still up.
Trev, no one wants to hear it. Just give me a guess.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna go. Wait, what's the low right now? Can I ask that?
It's 15.
I'm gonna go 11.
11. Bree?
Can I double up 15?
No.
Why not?
Because
Oh,
it's
it's
James,
obviously
and James
15,000.
makes
I
the
make the
rules.
rules, Bree.
Makes the rules.
I win. It's obviously 15,000.
Bree. Can I get a guess? You want 15001?
Fine.
15001. Dad?
15,000.
15. Gotcha.
Wait, if they're following me, there's no.
Uncle Steve?
I would
Something's
like to
afoot.
guess 15,000.
15,000. Wow. This is an incredible performance. It is 15,000. Very clearly, Bree is cheating.
Wait, Bruce.
I sent you this.
We sent you this one and the last one.
Wait a second. So James is cheating?
Wait,
Maybe I'm
Send
cheating.
you the links.
Guys, so many people send me this. So this puts me in a tough position.
No, it doesn't. I
No, it
guessed
doesn't.
15,000.
All 3 of us did.
No, you didn't.
Yeah,
You
this
followed
puts me in a
Bree because she
really
was cheating.
rough position.
Steven, Brian, Kevin, 15,000.
Well, Bree, you knew the answer was 15,000. Yes.
Yeah.
Here's how it's gonna go.
No, that's true. She didn't cheat. She just happened
Hey,
to be the market.
everyone,
leader.
listen up.
Okay, that's a valid point.
This is not a case where you guys like have any say whatsoever. So, what's gonna happen here? Kevin is
Mom?
gonna get 3 points because it was incredibly
Thank you.
impressive. Second guess, first
Thank
guess,
you.
nailed it.
Thank you. First guess too. I didn't even have anything.
Incredibly
to go
impressive. Bree is going to get the 1 point that she should have gotten earlier.
Oh,
Because it was a great listing, Bree, and thank you for sending it to me.
On. She deserves a point for that. That's okay.
You get a point. Dad and Steve, you guys get 1 point too because it doesn't really matter.
I feel like we should get about 7 points out of this.
That makes no sense. You get 1 point. Dad, you get 1 point. Bree gets
Brian,
1 point.
can you
Kevin gets
control your
3.
son, please?
Thank you for the point, James. I appreciate that.
No problem. No problem. Because Steve, you could be in last place, tied with Cheatin' Trev, but you are not.
Oh, you know what? I appreciate the point. Thank you, Jay.
You're welcome.
I feel like
about
this
to
game
take
has
it
lost
away,
some integrity.
but,
Wait, is Trevor the only one with 0 points?
I'm pretty sure.
Trevor and
I didn't
Dr.
even tell
Zahn
Cheat and Trev
currently have
that it
0
was
points.
15.
Sorry?
That's fair.
I didn't even tell Trevor that it was 15.
That's good.
Fair.
Thank you for doing that, and for that, I
appreciate
gave you
the
the 1
honesty.
point that I gave you earlier.
For the first time, she didn't tell Trevor the answer. That is honorable.
It's true.
The first
To sum up the points here, Bree is in the lead with 6 points. Jason with 4. He's going to need to either get both of these correct or get a dead-on answer. Kevin just a little bit behind with 3, then Dad and Steve with 1. Trevor and Dr. Zahns are yet to get a point, but I still believe in at least one of them, and it's not Trevor. We have 2 listings left. This one is a Chevy Bombardier G20. Bree, did you send this one to me too?
No.
Okay, good. I have a lot of people that send me listings. It's hard to keep track. So this one is a 1993 Chevy Bombardier on tracks. It's got a wheelchair lift there, as you can see in the bottom left image.
Yeah.
I did see a video of this, and it was moving pretty good. So you guys cannot see the video that it runs and works, but I will verify. I saw the video, and it does run, and everything works.
That is cool.
Got a small block V8. It's super cool, and it moves fast. I don't know if it was actually built like for a purpose, like like search and rescue.
I think it was because of the wheelchair thing.
Yeah, that's what I would think too. Or it's just cool.
Or the van
They're ready for
the donor van already had
the donor van could have already had it. Yeah,
that's my guess.
But anyways, it's well built, and
I would love to see how they did that. That is cool as hell.
Yeah, it is cool.
Hey, Jay, the front skids, they obviously will ride on the snow, but it looks like the wheels will ride on the ground if there's no snow.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did they show it driving on like solid ground in the video?
No, they did not. It was just on snow.
Okay.
Yeah. It was interesting.
That's a pretty cool design though.
Hey, Schultz, do you have a lot of snow on the ground right now?
0.
Oh well, this isn't going to do you any good.
It might.
It might. Yeah.
Well, Jason, you're going to go first on this one. Keep in mind, this is very important. You're going to have to do well here.
I'm at 10 grand.
10. Okay. Dr. Zahns?
18.
18. Cheating Trev?
15.
15. Bree?
23.
23. Dad?
17.5.
Gotcha. Uncle Steve?
I mean, look, I've got a kid in a wheelchair, so I've priced these lifts. They are not cheap.
Okay.
But this is an old ass 93. Looks older than that. I'm gonna go with is the highest 23?
Yeah.
I'll go with 24.
24. Uncle Kev, last guess.
Well, Trev said 15, so that's probably the answer. But I'll say 100,000. Probably 25,000. It's got to be 15.
I like how we have a real professor on with us tonight. I bet Dr. Zahn is going, dude, I'm not going to get this hour of my life back ever.
Absolutely. I honestly have no idea what to do because I feel like everybody's cheating now.
Wait.
It is 15,000.
No way.
I mean, at least Trevor is.
But the fact that Uncle Kev just gave up because he thought Trevor had it, it's
like he didn't try.
It blows my mind. I have no idea.
Jay, let's clarify. When you say everybody, you mean Trevor and Kevin, right?
I mean Trevor, Kevin, and then I don't think Bree's cheating, but I just want to say she's cheating.
Bree's honest. She wouldn't do that.
I do think she's honest, though.
I will tell you, some people have a gift for this stuff. Like you guys are all mechanically inclined. You know, I mean, I think it's legit. I really do.
Well,
thank you,
Jason. We're going to take your word for it. Trev's going to get 3 points. Uncle Kev, I don't even know what to think about that.
Can we just point out? I think that was the first time in the history of ever that I've gotten 3 points.
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably.
Well,
because you're usually better at this. Than
the first time I probably gave it to you, but the second time I didn't buy it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you'll always be cheating, Trev. That's going to be on your headstone. But I mean,
It's cheating Trev forever. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And honestly,
and it's not Trev with a T, it's CHREV. Cheating.
Exactly, yeah. Trev. Yeah.
Trev.
Cheating Trev.
That
was a good guess, Trevor.
Thank you.
I think that's cool, man.
I believe this next one is our last listing of the night. Before we get into it, I want to remind everybody from last week on, the last listing is always less than $1,000, and the reasoning behind that is there's potential that if it's not already listed for below $569, that someone could hypothetically be talked down to a price of $569, and this vehicle would qualify, therefore, in our race name to be announced, Full Contact. So this one here is a VW Beetle Turbo. It's got a sweet racing interior. It's got 98,000 miles, a 5-speed manual. The glove box compartment doesn't close. It's the middle console is detached. The driver's side door panel is missing, as you can see there in the bottom left image. The hood of the car is slightly, as you can see, it doesn't really close down there. There's a better image, but I didn't put it on. The gas gauge doesn't work. Don't need that where we're going. The passenger side of the car is a little bit scratched. You can't really see, but down there and there, it's pretty heavily scratched, but that's perfect because I want to remind everyone it is Full Contact. It can currently drive through the city, but he doesn't recommend driving it on the highways or freeways. That's how you know you got a good deal. This was a recent issue, and why they were talked into getting a new vehicle. Clearly,
they didn't want
the vehicle still is performing well and has some, character, some ties to its owner. It is a fun car to drive. It's fast, and it gets 35 to 40 miles per gallon, so you're not going to have to fill up during the race. It just needs a little bit of love and a reliable source of transportation. No big deal. It had regular oil changes, but it's due for another. Again, we don't need that where we're going. And it recently had new tires and rims. That's good, especially for any off-road use. And she is not taking checks. But will gladly take cash or a Venmo transaction. Again,
We
that's
don't
how
need
you
the
know.
government knowing about this one, huh?
Exactly. Exactly. So we're going to start this one off with Dr. Zons, our guest.
You said it's under 1,000,
It is 1,000 or less.
Oh, okay. Okay.
$823.
$823.
That's how you play the game, right?
That's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Trev.
Oh, sorry. I
Sure,
didn't man, I feel like
Keep in mind the sweet interior.
I was
there.
just gonna say that, like the
That's
racing
some real.
It matches the exterior.
It matches the exterior. That's some professional upholstery if I've ever seen it, especially the steering wheel cover.
Oh, for
Very
sure.
nice.
I mean, it's no pink fuzzy steering.
It's no pink fuzzy steering wheel, but it does match the car, which is pretty cool.
That is true.
It almost looks like a Ferrari on the inside. It's
It does. The outside too, kind of. If you squint your
What
eyes.
is the?
If you
do we know what the
squint.
stickers say on the outside of the doors?
What's
Turbo.
that?
Turbo. Turbo is. I can't read it. Sorry.
Because
Can we
it's
quit
turbo.
killing time though, Trev? Can we just
No,
get a good?
I'm not killing time. I'm just checking her out.
Do you want to just give an answer though?
Yeah, I'll go with $650.
$650. Bree?
$850.
$850. Dad?
920.
$920. Steve?
$869, dude.
$869. You guys are all in a very tight range.
Dude, you only gave us $1,000 to work with.
Well, it's 1,000 or less. You have $1,000. Yeah.
Yeah, but he's not going for zero.
You might. Kev?
Where are we at so far? Between 0
just
and
give you a
1,000?
guess. Just give you a guess, man.
650 is the lowest that we've seen. The rest are
651.
between 651. Jason, this is the last guess of the night. I will tell you, nobody has gotten the correct dead-on answer. You still have a chance.
I bet it's $1,000.
Be the comeback of
Jason,
the year.
it's less than $1,000.
Oh, okay.
$9.99.
Jason, you're killing me. You're killing me.
That might be it.
I really was hoping you would do a little bit better. It was not $9.99, and actually, I get the point. $500.
No way.
Oh my God.
For those that don't know, if everybody goes over, then I get the point.
All right, James. Now go buy it. Where is it?
Wait, I want to buy this sumbitch. Where is it?
Exactly. Yeah. Here, let me pull it up.
Let's go. Give
But
him a
this is
call.
this is a great vehicle. The only thing that I think is a problem with it, if you want to call it a problem, is that during the race you need to have all three drivers in the car at all times.
No way.
And
That was
Oh, yeah,
never
that's the
mentioned
rule.
I
before.
did not know that.
what do you
Oh,
mean?
you guys didn't know that rule?
That's a big
That's the
part of
rule.
the deal.
It was
This one's in
definitely not
late
something that you
Utah.
said before.
Well,
It was definitely
we-
talked about last week.
Yeah,
It's the
I mean there
rules,
was a lot. No,
dude.
I get it. It's exciting. There was a lot covered. You probably missed it, but we did say that all three drivers have to be in the car.
all the time.
Which John
And
Bower just sent me a text earlier in the show and said that he would like to register the race for the race with Kevin
Yep.
himself and Jason Gish with Chris Daniels as their pit support with a team name
Yeah,
coming
we're a team.
soon.
We're a team.
Do they have a
So,
vehicle yet?
Can you imagine a John Bower,
No.
Uncle Kev, or Jason Gish sitting in the back seat of this?
Yes.
For
I can't
23
even-
laps.
Oh, and there's
I love that.
but the other rule, Jay, we haven't discussed this yet. But when you switch drivers, you can't get out of the car.
Oh, for Christ's sake.
Yes, you're right. I forgot about that rule.
This is very clown car-esque.
Yes, exactly. You have to stay
For
in the
sure.
car at all times.
Mhm.
So that would definitely be a challenge, especially for this little turbo Beetle. But it's something, the smaller size, you can squeeze through the tight barriers.
Yeah,
more
yeah,
easily.
because there's
So
going
this-
to be some
and it's
some
fast.
squeezes.
So you're gonna have to really think this through, each team. But this is a good option for sure, especially for if a smaller team per se were to enter the race. Well, that
500,
is
huh?
going to do it for this rendition of our marketplace show. The 15th, by the way, we're a fifth of the way to 75, which is pretty cool.
I never would have
Good
thought we
math,
would
Jay.
last this long.
I'd never thought
Really
either.
good observation.
15th anniversary.
Bree with the win, 6 points, very
Way
impressive.
to go, Bree.
Congratulations.
And
Bree.
actually,
That
she
was
got
well-
3 dead-on
well fought.
answers. One of them she kind of sent it to me, but
By kind of, you mean
Very-
exactly sent it to you. But we should also recognize Jason for really stepping up today.
Oh,
Yes.
there we
Jason,
go. Oh, wait a
Jason,
minute.
second place. Probably one of your better performances.
Well, I got the 4900. Was that on Brent Sullivan's car?
That was on Brent Sullivan's new car.
Him and I have a bond with the Melanesios. I just kind of
Sure.
feel it.
Yeah, for sure.
It was on the nuts.
That was very impressive too. You had a very narrow range considering that Trev was 4901.
Yeah, that was good. So I was gonna just I was gonna say something if I could get on the screen.
You're on the screen. You're on the left hand. We can see you. Half of you.
There you go.
It's all about advertising these days, you guys. It's all about getting your name out, you know. So sometimes you wear a hat. Sometimes you need like a rolling billboard going down the road, you know. Boom, there it is. I would just say if anybody needs good advertising for your tractor pull coming up or your multi-million-dollar company, whatever, don't call that number, but call the other one, Schultz. Boom, there it is, right there. Call that one.
Specifically,
That's just the end of the show marketing.
Specifically in the Fresno area, probably I'd say.
In the Central
greater
Valley, any
Central
sort of
Valley
small
or
business,
the whole United States.
or the whole United States. We'll go anywhere.
Yeah.
If McDonald's wants to advertise, they're welcome. Budweiser, they're welcome. Or local guys too.
Yeah.
You guys make sure to call.
You know, we also the Pullers Championship. I don't know. You guys probably heard of it. It's unarguably one of the best pools in the country. And I noticed tonight Tommy Reedy was putting in some guesses. I do believe Tommy has made it to the. Tommy was at the Golden State Invitational 2024 edition with his two-wheel drive called the Felon. Kevin, you might remember the Reedy family. You blanketly gave them an invitation to any future Golden State Invitational with any vehicle they want to bring. So
Ever.
Obviously, you guys are very close. But congratulations to Tommy for making it to the next round and two-wheel drive class. Jason, did the voting start this morning for the second round?
No, we started at 8 o'clock Central, 6 o'clock Pacific, and it goes until February 9th, the Sunday night, February 9th at 11:59 Central.
Approximately 2 weeks. You can vote once a day per email. Is that correct?
Yes.
At thepullerschampionship.com.
Yes.
And the boys and I, the young lads, James and Trevor and myself, were lucky enough to go to this event last year. And I can honestly tell you it was a phenomenal event. And I'm not saying that because it's Jason's event. I'm saying that because it was a badass event at a cool venue. I someday want to have – I don't need a couple car dealerships and the power sports dealerships and all that shit because that sounds like a headache. But that guy's facility is fantastic, right? Got full-on pulling track with bleachers. They got, 20 acres of grass for the pit parking. Phenomenal event. So my point is get on your computers once a day, go in and vote at thepullerschampionship.com. I think it would be awesome for Tommy Reedy to go. Also, I saw Mr. Donnie Sullivan's name in there with the big stick. I think he would
vote for him too.
And no offense to any of the other 18 guys on the list. I just don't know any of them. But I know Donnie Sullivan and Tommy Reedy, and I think they would be great additions to the Pullers Championship 2025, happening in May of 2025. I don't know what the date.
That will be the toughest one to get into. We had 10,000 votes total in the first round.
Whoa.
But there's 269 two-wheel drive trucks in the country, and he got into the top 20.
How many are there? How many, Jason?
269. I'm not even trying to be funny. Sorry.
Nobody can build anymore.
260 two-wheel drive trucks in the country.
That's
awesome.
awesome.
That is pretty badass to be in the top 20 of those guys.
That's the tops, man.
So you got to finish in the top 4. I think there's only 4 spots left. I think 6 of the spots were accepted by auto invites. We invited 2 NTPA, 2 PPL, 2 Outlaw trucks that finished 1 and 2 in points, I believe, if I remember correctly. So there's 4 spots left. But he got in the top 20. just if you can get all your friends and family to vote once a day, I mean, that's all you got to do. So.
Jason, when is the points champion of the MLM circuit going to be invited? Is that like next year or?
Yeah. So it turns out he doesn't like us that much. I mean, you know,
make it awkward.
If one of the race trucks made it, actually, you know, it's okay.
I thoroughly enjoy MLM Motorsports. I think you guys are great, but we've classified the national organizations as PPL, Outlaw, and NTPA. They did.
You put him on the spot, and he's like, "Oh,
I mean, I'm just saying,
how do I get out of this
No,
one?"
I mean,
don't think
mine was just
okay.
how great this event is. And go vote for Tommy Reedy. And then James, you have a gift. You have an absolute
Way to go, James.
You
I
are
still
very-
think it's a great event. I still
It's
think
still a great
great
event. And I will say, to give some context to the event, like if it's going to rain the day before, normally promoters like, shit, like should we cancel, whatever. They just park like 200 side-by-sides on the track. And then it's
put a giant tarp over the whole
big tarp.
When our promoter owns 1,000 side-by-sides, and
it works. Yeah.
He said that was the
Pretty
most
sweet.
expensive paperweights we've ever had out there.
It was pretty awesome.
I think we have a picture of that somewhere. So.
But anyways,
yeah, Dr. Mark, this was fun tonight. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks
Yes.
for having me,
your
guys.
history and
Yeah, Dr. Mark, awesome.
Thanks for having me. I really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed it.
So
we've been trying to have you on. I feel like a lot over the years. We finally got you on, so I'm excited.
years
Well,
or
I
15 weeks.
apologize.
Yeah, one of the
I
two.
apologize that my computer wasn't working right. I don't know what the deal is, but
It worked out fine.
we got her
Yeah,
done.
That happens to the best of us, Mark. So, but also we look forward to seeing Mark in approximately 2 weeks and 2 days at the California Winter Nationals at the Tulare World Ag Expo. That is the kickoff of the 2025 pulling season here in California, which obviously it's not good enough to make it to the Pullers Championship level, but you know, it's California Pulling. Hey, we're proud of what we have, and it's going to be a good event. And they're Tommy Reedy. I don't know if they're coming back for that, but I know that there will be a Sullivan 2-wheel drive there, and Jason's BFF Steve Milanese is going to be there.
You gotta say it with the Milanese.
I did.
I feel like you tried.
I don't like to say it that much because, well, you know why. It beats the shit out of us. But anyways,
Not always.
we're going to bring the unicorn. We're going to go kiss him on the cheek with the unicorn before the pull, get his blood pressure all up, piss him off. See how that works for us.
No, we don't want to get his blood pressure.
No,
too
let's
high.
not.
No.
Trev, could you slide to the left a little bit?
Yeah.
A little bit more. That's perfect.
Yeah.
Bree, can you slide to the left a little bit? You left, get right in the middle. There we go. Perfect. That will just up here. That's good for ratings.
I like that their phones are still on that frame behind.
Yeah,
them.
they're still up there.
That's
Hey,
dedication.
also, if I could, I want to wish this beautiful girl
Hold
a
on.
happy 16th birthday on Wednesday. Two more
Can you
days.
slide,
All
can you
right.
slide to
Happy
the right a
birthday,
little bit, Dad?
Lexi.
Happy
Hey, you know
birthday,
what?
Lex.
Hey, Massetti, there's a
What?
guy in town that you can rent something from, and you can put her birthday on the side of that.
That's a good
Oh,
idea.
Schultz, did we talk about this? And you drive around the school all day?
Just park in
Happy
front in the
birthday!
morning as everybody shows
Oh,
up. Oh.
There's a speaker on the side.
Oh my
On
god.
both sides.
Well,
Oh,
yeah,
if you could
exactly.
play circus music, do, 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 do,
You can play whatever you want.
Or
So
just
this is
sing
a,
happy
Best
birthday all
birthday
morning.
ever.
That is my lovely wife, Christina's phone number on there. This is a new venture that she and I are rolling into with the
Oh,
rolling.
well
cube.
played,
You guys
Ryan.
catch that? Huh?
Yeah,
I'm
no,
kind
it's
of a
good.
marketing guy.
Yeah.
And
Or Christina's.
so Madera Blinds and Shutters is our first client.
Yep.
Did they pay for this up front? Did they pay up front?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Schultz, don't ask those type of questions. That's
Yeah.
embarrassing.
So Christy told the lovely Lexi that she was going to pick her up on Wednesday in the cube, and it was going to say "Happy birthday, Lexi," blah blah blah. and Lexi said, "I will never forgive you." So
that means you do it all day. Now you take her to school and you drop her off.
No, I will pick Lexi up in a discreet vehicle. No one will know it's us. And then Mama can drive around all day with her happy birthday.
But Mom's going to drive around the school all day long.
Christy, if that thing was in Wisconsin, I would have a lot of fun with it. A lot of fun with it.
Hey, are you licensed to do home loans in California?
I am.
I will send you a contract for your advertising needs.
I want the same contract as Madeira Blinds and Shutters.
That's a one-time deal, dude.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. Yeah, I'm gonna pay. Brian, I'm gonna pay what this guy's paying. Okay.
Okay. Perfect. Anyways,
you could probably get that deal.
Thanks for the free plugs on the rolling cube there.
Yeah, no, actually, Uncle Kevin stepped up and sent that to me. I was actually just getting ready. I was gonna just log off. I was gonna run home. I got a super early morning. And then I hit the 4,900, and I'm like, shit, I better stick around. So,
it's still in the game.
Well, we appreciate it. And
so guys, as friends, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to give one of you admin access to, because I want you to go along, but it's 11 o'clock at my house.
We'll go all night, Jason. It's 11 o'clock here too. But...
Do the after show all night.
You're
wake up tomorrow morning. We're still going to be gone.
You're younger than me, so. I love it. Lexi, which car did Mama and Brian get you? What are you driving?
The Mini Cooper.
Yeah, the one that I showed earlier.
Yeah, right. Yeah, the mini truck, the mini trucker.
Mini truck.
The mini truck.
Kinda. It's very similar to that, but the bed has a bed liner in it instead of a wood floor. It's pretty cool.
They forgot to cut the back off. Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't cut the back. Yeah, we're gonna work on that.
Yeah.
So not the Odyssey.
No, that was Bree's car.
We can, yeah, that's Breeze, but we can't afford to insure that son of a gun.
Bree, have you been commuting to work in that yet?
No.
It's a good choice.
No. Yeah.
Well, okay, well, we're not telling the full story. Bree got a nice new truck.
I did.
Therefore, she's not using it. It's not for any other reason. It's just because she got a new truck.
I think that Mr. and Mrs. Bree's parents actually
her parents might have got her the truck because of the van. Who knows?
I think they saw the van and they're like, "Oh shit, we need to step in because
that's the smartest."
Well played, Bree. Well played. Really well.
That was the smartest play ever. They go, Bree's going to drive this to work, and then the next week, boom, new car.
Boom.
I think they were worried.
Oddly together.
It was funny because they told me that they were going to surprise her and everything. So they called me on Tuesday of last week or the week before, whenever it was, and they were like, "Hey, so it's not because of cricket." Like that was the first thing that they said. But
yeah, okay,
it's kind of it's me, not you type of.
Kind of that's what I'm feeling. Yeah.
Yeah, Trevor, did they text or did they actually call?
No, it was a call. It was
okay.
Yeah.
That's old
a little
school.
more
That's
personal
great.
that way. It's good.
Did you help them with the surprise there, Trev? Like
I did, yeah.
Good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was fun.
That's great. Before we do end, though, I do want to for Dr. Zons, thank you for coming on, and also, he's probably the nicest guy you're ever going to meet at a truck pull.
Yes.
Like the first thing we always, hey, Dr. Zons, how you doing? Good. Never like, how's the tractor running or whatever. How's Addie and Emily? How's the man? That's the first thing he always asks, which is very cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
He's very thoughtful guy.
Kevin is married and has children, for those that don't know.
Yeah, I just named 3 girls' names and nobody who's that?
Yeah.
Kevin, you're far too kind.
That's true.
No, it's true. It's very true. And
not the Kevin part, what Kevin said.
Right.
Yeah, what I said was true.
Yeah. No, we do appreciate
I'm kind of
with
full
us
of it most of the time.
And all summer and all the time, Mark. We appreciate you and Lori. We don't get to see her often enough at pools, but we do think very highly.
Yeah, you're kind of like me. They go, Dr. Zons is married? What? The same thing I get.
I don't think anyone asked that question, though.
I feel like it's not the same, Kevin.
Well, I didn't know until a couple years ago. Anyways, very nice people.
Yep, for
we
sure.
love them.
No, I think there's the horsepower thing that draws you to the event, but really, for the most part, it's the people.
Yep,
that's just it. You know.
Yep. That's for sure.
That's for sure.
Yep.
Anyway, I thank you guys for inviting me.
We appreciate you making
Thanks
it
for
work.
coming
I
on.
know you had some scheduling, but thank you for being here
Certainly.
and playing along with our little marketplace game.
Oh, I'm gonna, I'm gonna
study up for next time.
figure out how to do better at that game.
Ask Trevor. See how that goes.
Yeah, I'll give you some tips.
Ask Trevor and me. They got it figured out pretty good.
Yep. Well, terrific. Well, thank you everyone for joining us tonight. Happy birthday to my baby here, 16. If you need any advertising,
Happy birthday, Lex.
Lexi, if they don't put a happy birthday on and drive you into school, they're letting me down. I just want to be clear. That's how that stuff works.
I will not do that to
If
this.
your mom does that,
Christy will do it. I won't.
You, Christy, you go for it.
I hope she does.
I got you.
And I want to go right around the school during that day.
Oh, Kevin, aren't you banned from being within 500 feet?
In a van too?
Not anymore. No. That van is clearly marked. It's no problem.
Oh, we
My
got to
van
change our
don't
time on that intro slide. Too.
Yeah, I know. I got to get that fixed. So it's been a great night. I'm going to bed. Love you guys. Peace. Thanks,
All right,
Dr. Zone.
thanks, everybody.
So, yesterday, how did you do?
I got second place. I lost by 4 feet.
And today?
I was 700 pounds light because I didn't really know the weight of the tractor, and I was the first time I ever pulled her. And today, well, let's talk about today. I put her in a 16,000 pound class. I put her in turret gear. They were all 280, 290. One was 310, maybe 312.
And you were?
I put her in at 370 feet right in the sand pond.
Oh, we're still live. I want to watch Trevor eat. Bree was feeding me. So we're still live. I thought this was cute. I happened to look down and what did you just put in his mouth, Bree?
Wait, Bree fed him
a bread roll. Stole my bread roll. You stole it. And then
So, yesterday, how did you do?
I got second place. I lost by 4 feet.
And today?
I was 700 pounds light because I didn't really know the weight of the tractor, and I was the first time I ever pulled her. And today, well, let's talk about today. I put her in a 16,000 pound class. I put her in turret gear. They were all 280, 290. One was 310, maybe 312.
And you were?
I put her in at 370 feet right in the sand pond. The only mistake I made, I didn't put her in a registration booth with the girl.
Running back the numbers, that's a lot of grind. Try and take it from me, must be out your mind. Big time, lot of time. Funky in the air, that's a lot of time. I just wanna know who with the dollar sign. Try and take it from me, take it from me.
Let's make some noise. Good running. John Deere, Animal Deep Iowa coming up. We got one right behind.